Okay. So as you guys walk through the doors of the town hall, you can see that right in the center of the building itself, there's a very large fireplace. The fireplace comes down. It seems to be a central column actually holding the building up. And as it comes down, it splits, and it actually has 4 open faces like a square. So obviously you could throw wood into either side of it. So the stonework of this fireplace is made up of a gray stone, and as I said, it's open on all 4 sides. So you can see some of the different guards talking to other individuals and stuff like that, giving them the rundown of what's going on. And as you 4 enter, you actually notice that the captain of the Watchers, or at least who you're assuming the captain is, the guy that was talking to Keeper Erden, he walks through behind all of you and closes the double doors behind him. He raises his voice to try to counter the talking from the other volunteers and his guard. He speaks and he says, "All right, people, listen up. We have a missing girl to find. We'll be breaking you up into groups of 4 so we can cover more ground and talk to more people. The Watchers will give you all the information you need to find this missing girl. We will find this cub." As he finishes saying this, he looks towards you 4. You can now see he's an elven man. So he has very chiseled jawline with light blue eyes, long white snow hair. It's pulled into a ponytail or a half ponytail into the back. He has a long scar that slides down the right side of his face, cresting over the eye and stopping just before it hits the chin. He's wearing dark brown leather armor with the Valenwood crest that's burnt into the left shoulder. And he looks towards you and he says, "You 4, form up. You will be a group." Before any of you have any time to protest, he begins to speak again. What's your names? You're just gonna... I need names, people.
JD.
JD. And you?
Thar'dia, Bloodseeker.
Thar'dia. Nice. What about you?
I am Maximus, or Max.
Maximus or Max. I like it. Good name. And lastly, you.
You can call me Lijian.
Lijian. Good name as well. Well, I wish we had more time for pleasantries, but, there's other business at hand. I am Sir Elar Nefir, head of the Watchers here in Valenwood. What do you know about this case so far? And so he's asking if you guys know anything directly about the case and what's happening.
Nothing as of yet.
Anybody else? Does anybody know anything?
We know only that there are 3 missing children here.
Well, I'm pleased to see at least some of you know what's going on. Not like the rest of these people in here. Most just try to keep their heads down, pretend to be helping, all just trying to get in the good graces of Keeper Erden. What information do you need to help find this girl? What information could I help you or give you that would help find her quickly? So anybody have any questions for him? So obviously he's asking for, just any kind of generals, age, hair color, anything like that. Are you going to ask about the other missing children? Whatever else.
What was she wearing?
Who, the most recent girl?
Yes.
She was wearing a dress that was made by her mother. Her mother would be able to give you more information on the details of the dress.
I will keep that in mind.
And what was this girl's name again?
This girl's name is Nettie Morden. For anyone writing it down, that's Nettie Nettie Morden. She was a human girl, very young, only age of 8. She has brown curly hair and green eyes. As far as what her mother's told us, she has no scars or any other identification marks.
What about the other children?
There was 2 others so far. The first one was Samuel Destar. He was a human child, age of 7, and he had straight blonde hair with brown eyes. And he also has a birthmark over his right eye.
And the other?
The last one was Muzan Justal, elven boy, age of 8, long black hair, brown eyes, same as the first, no identifying marks or scars on him.
Any connection between them other than the children?
As far as what we can tell right now, they all seem to be different. We cannot find one coordinating link between the children.
What about where they were taken?
Nettie Morden, she was taken behind the woods in her house. Her and her brother Stokely were playing a game of hide and chase. Samuel Destar, he was last seen. His mother was was seeing him out of the house to go to school. He was on his way walking to school, and he was never seen from again. The last one, Muzan Justal, was seen by his father out in the woods. His father is a hunter, and they were out teaching Muzan how to hunt. and his father says that he went back to the house for a mere few minutes, came back, and Muzan was gone.
So I
And
feel
are
like
these-
we're going into the woods then.
Yeah, I was about to ask if the same woods were the two went missing.
It's not necessarily the same place. It is part of the same forest, but they are a few distances apart, maybe 5 to 10 minutes apart between the two. Is there anything else you need to know as far as where the families are living? Do you already know these families?
Perhaps
Where-
point us in that direction.
So the Morden family lives southeast of towns in the woods right off the road. You can look for the house with the herb garden in front. Her mother is the town herbalist. So look for the house with the herb garden and that should be theirs. Samuel Destar, he lived in the house across from the blacksmith's forge with the white window drapes. That's in the the common district of the town itself, where all the store shops and other stuff like that is. Muzan, he lives in the house across from the tavern with the iron Valenwood crest hanging on the house. They all should be pretty simple to find. As you know, Valenwood is not a big town.
And would you suggest that we talk to these families before we head out into the woods?
At the moment, we've already had a few of our watcher patrols check the most recent site where Nettie went missing. They haven't found too much yet. I would say the best part, as far as all of the search party is concerned, is to talk with all the families, investigate at least the newest site where Nettie went missing, because we've already combed over the last two sites. But I would definitely say start with talking with families, and I would definitely say start talking with the Morden family, as this is the most immediate case that needs our immediate attention, is the most recent. So start with talking with Nettie Morden's mother. Her mother's name is Orlana. Orlana. Orlauna. Orlana. Is that it? Or do you need anything else?
And how much does this job pay? I'm sorry.
This is not a job for payments as of now, but this is just a search party. If you end up finding a missing girl, then I'm sure Erden would pay you all handsomely. Right now, you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, yes?
Sure.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I said, start by making your way to Nettie's home, talk with her mother. She'll be able to aid you with any more information about the disappearance. If you find any signs of Nettie, report back to the town hall immediately. Understood?
Understood.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, where are you guys going? What are you guys doing?
We're going to Nettie Morden.
Yeah, let's go talk to the mother.
Go talk to the mother. Okay.
Yep.
So you guys start making your way, pushing through the crowds, heading outside of the town hall. And as you all start making your way towards the door, you hear call over your shoulder. Somebody call over your shoulder. And watch the roads for trouble. I don't want to have to come find you next, huh? So, LR just giving you a little warning. So you guys are making your way to the Morden house, correct? Southeast of town?
That's correct.
Yep.
All right, so it's about a 10-minute walk outside of the main gates to the Morden house, as it is tucked off in the woods, because she is an herbalist. If it was too close, she wouldn't be able to find the herbs she needs. So it is about a 10-minute walk. Are you guys just walking silently? Are you all talking to each other, relaying anything, or just four random dudes walking silent together?
Personally, I'm looking for herbs as we go.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. You know how to do that? Left-hand
Are you
corner of
talking
the
to me?
first page. Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where all the different things are. Perception, D20 plus
Yeah.
whatever it is.
+5.
Damn, you're perceptive as fuck.
What's the
12.
12? Currently, as you're walking, you're not far enough out of town to see any real herbs or anything like that. You might have better luck if you get a little bit further into the woods.
All right.
Anybody else? Talking, introducing yourself to
Yeah.
each other?
Lizian isn't really offering much up.
Okay. A little bit quiet type.
Hmm.
Anybody else talkative?
Now, are we going to immediately go back to town, or are we going to just try to go find her ourselves?
I mean, that's up
We're
to
going
you
to.
guys.
I mean, at this
I-
point, we're going to mom's, right?
Yeah, if we get any sort of information there that'll help us find the girl, do we want to just go and try to get it taken care of so that we aren't wasting extra time going back to town?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that would be
Yeah.
our best course of action.
Yep.
We're some capable
Alright.
people who can handle this.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else before you guys get to the house?
Thar'dia will introduce himself as obviously Thar'dia Bloodseeker.
Okay.
Not much past that.
You gonna how would your character say it? You gonna jump in there? Some verbiage?
Sure. Alright, so Thar'dia is a 6'1". He's fucking huge, half orc. I'm Thar'dia Bloodseeker. And your name's?
I'm Jarrell Davis. I'm a half-elf.
Dagalor.
Oh yeah, Dagalor. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a half elf. What else am I supposed to say? I can make a mean casserole. Mhm.
I look forward to trying this casserole if we find this girl, so long as
Yes.
it doesn't contain any fucking birds. I hate birds.
Jan just kind of gives him a look. Just,
Why does he fucking hate birds?
Those poor birds.
Li Jian is 4'8" dwarf. Like green eyes, black hair, very tanned. And all he says is just, "My name is Li Jian."
Cool. I like it.
Maximus is a 5'9" half elf, and a very tall 5'9" because he just carries himself very proudly. And I go by Maximus or Max, whatever you prefer.
All right. So as you guys are talking to each other, introducing yourself, you all actually start coming up alongside what you would assume to be the Morden household. Looking at the house now, you can see that it's a wooden house, overgrown with a lot of bushes and different things. The herb garden is outside. It's right in front of the house, has a small white fence around it. You can all get a smell of sage and various other medicinal herbs wafting through the air. You can see smoke coming out of the chimney of the house. What are you guys doing?
So, do we smell the dankest of all herbs?
Yeah, there's definitely some dank herbs in there, you know? Just, you know, your general herbs. You got some silk poppy, you got some dragon's tongue, you know? So, all the good stuff in there.
Why are you looking at me? No, I'm just kidding. So I'm saying I'm checking out the herb garden.
Okay. Are you gonna try to pocket some of that, or, you know, what are you doing? You just looking, admiring?
I think right now I'm just browsing.
Okay.
Just browsing at some
Browsing.
herbs.
Okay.
I would not
Thinking
advise
about
you
what
to
I'm gonna
take
make
any of that.
next.
So,
We'll see what happens.
Li Zin just said something to you.
I'm sorry?
I would not advise you to take any of that.
Why is that?
That is that woman's livelihood.
And her daughter is missing.
True story.
True story. True story.
I'm
I'll
sure
go
you can
knock
shovel
on
out
the
this
door.
pile.
Well, at this point, I'm just browsing. But maybe if we get her daughter back, maybe
Perhaps you
can
could
get some
negotiate
herbs?
some herbs out of it.
Extortion of a woman who's missing her daughter. I love it.
a little feast at the end of our triumph.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys see that there's smoke coming out of the chimney. What are you doing? You gonna go look in the window, knock on the door, yell,
Yeah,
"Hey,
I'll
yo,
go knock on
Alana!"
the door.
Okay, so Max is gonna walk up and knock on the door. Anybody
I'll
else?
flank them.
Okay. So you make your way and you knock on the door. You know, doof, doof, doof. A couple of seconds pass. The door swings open and you can see a short woman, human, standing in front of you. She has blonde hair. You can see that her cheeks are wet, probably from crying, eyes red and puffy, as her daughter has been missing. She opens the door and she says, "Yes." And she wipes her eyes a little bit. "May I help you?"
Hi there, I'm Max. We're here to help look for your daughter.
Yes, come in, please. So as she says that, she gestures for all of you to come inside the house. Assuming you guys are walking in.
Yep.
Yeah, but I won't enter all the way.
Wait, you're just gonna stand at the door for him?
Yeah. I'll walk in enough that the door closes behind me, but I'm standing right in front of the door.
Right at the door. You don't trust this lady. Okay, I gotcha.
So do I fit comfortably within the door being 6 foot tall? 6'1"?
No, definitely not. I mean, it's more made for humans, so, humans are a little shorter, especially, here. So, I mean, you definitely have to duck under the door frame to get in. It's not the most comfortable fit for you. So, as you all enter, she asked all of you, she says, would any of you like some silk poppy tea?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. That's two.
I'll take
one of
a
you?
double.
A double? I can make that happen.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
And
No,
you,
thank you.
dwarf? Okay.
No, thank you.
So, as you all enter and she offers you the tea, you can see her. She goes over towards the kitchen and starts making up the tea. Inside the house, very cozy, very small. It's all essentially just one room. There's not multiple rooms that distinguish. You have the beds over on one side with furs and stuff laying on that. In the center that you guys are standing in, there is a fireplace going. You can see there's one table. It only has a few chairs around it, very small. Kitchen, very small as well. You can see there's dried herbs hanging down from the ceiling. And as she goes over to make the tea, she grabs off a few of those herbs and starts putting them in glasses and grinding them up. And she takes off some hot water from the fireplace and pours it into glasses. So she comes, she hands the tea to both Thar'dia not Thar'dia, it was Maximus and JD. So she hands both of you guys the tea.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. She says, I spoke with Sir Ella this morning. He said he'd be sending some volunteers my way to speak with me. I don't know much other than what Stokely has already told me this morning. And as she says this, she actually points to a lump under the covers on the bed, where all of you previously just assumed the covers were haphazardly thrown around. You can now see there is a big lump under the bed, so Stokely is under the covers. And I've already told all the watchers this morning, so what else do you wish to know?
How close of a range to where she disappeared can you give me?
Stokely said that him and Nettie were out playing in the woods, just directly behind the house. They were over playing by the tall old oak in the riverbed. It's not but maybe a 5-minute walk behind the house, so not very far at all.
And what color dress was she wearing?
Yes, she was wearing a dress I made for her birthday only 2 weeks ago. The dress was green with white trim, and it had a flower sewn onto the front. She was also wearing the necklace that was passed down through our family. The necklace is silver, and it has a small bird that's holding a twig in its beak.
Uh-oh.
How old is the child now?
Nettie is 8 years old. As I said, her birthday was only a few weeks past, so she's very young and very dear to me. I need to get her back as soon as possible. Please help me with this.
And
I think-
I take it that Stokely is her brother?
Yes, Stokely is her older brother. He's 10. And he said they were both playing a game of hide and chase when they were separated, so.
Any possibility the child could have ran away?
No, it's not like Nettie to go that far from the house. Stokely said that he was coaxing her to go further in the woods and she didn't want to. She never wanted to leave the house. She thought it was too dangerous.
I actually want to walk over to Stokely, talk to him,
Okay, so you start making
or
your
see
way
if
over.
I can.
Yeah, so you start making your way over. She doesn't protest or anything like that. You can go and try to start talking to him. Anybody else have questions for Alana?
Do you have any enemies?
Not that I would know of. My husband he died a few years back, and he was with the hunters, but no enemies. He was killed by a pack of wolves. But I mean, our family's modest. Here in Valenwood, there's not too many travelers that come through, so I couldn't think of anybody that would want to take her and do any harm to her. So, anything else, or are we gonna go to Stokely?
That's all the questions I have.
Any?
Does she know the other two children that were taken? Does she know of them?
You ask her this question. She says, Honestly, I've heard of them. I've seen them around, but we haven't had any deep connection with the families, no. I mean, it is a small town, so pretty much everyone knows everybody, but it's not like they were friends of the family or anything like that. So, as you guys finish questioning, well, actually, no, hold on, that's right. We're going to Stokely. So, Valdek, you're going to head over and talk with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to ask him, if there's anything else that he remembers specifically that stands out or anything.
Okay, well, at the moment, he's currently, with the blankets over his head, hiding under the covers. You don't know whether he's asleep or whether he just doesn't want to talk to people. So, what are you doing about that?
I'll kneel down next to the bed and, Stokely, can I talk with you for a moment?
You see the covers just barely raised up a little bit? Yes, I guess so.
Do you remember what was happening whenever your sister disappeared?
With this, he's starting to get a little bit more ambitious, so he starts pulling the cover back where, revealing his whole face, kind of wraps himself up in the blanket and he sits up on the bed. Says, yeah, well, me and my sister, we were just playing out in the woods. We were playing a game of hide and chase, and, I was running really far away because she cheats. Nettie always cheats. She always peeks when we're trying to play, so I ran as far as I could, and I could still hear her counting. After she got done, I hear her. She was calling out my name, and then she was I could tell she was walking in the opposite direction, because her voice started fading further and further. So I knew I had a good hiding spot. And he kind of starts laughing at that point, just reminiscing back to the times. He said I couldn't really make out what she was saying, but I heard her talking with somebody. I thought it might have just been another kid, and she was trying to ask them if they knew where I was or something like that, but I couldn't tell who it was or anything. I couldn't make out what they were saying. So I just stayed in my hiding spot because I knew it was a good spot. And then, I waited a few minutes and she never came around. So I went out and started trying to look for her. And that's when I noticed she was gone. And I just ran back as fast as I could and I came back to tell Mom.
And did you happen to see anything at the place where she disappeared or notice anything strange? See any footprints?
I mean, there's footprints all around. The kids always play in those woods. I mean, the witch's children were out, but other than that, nothing. And you guys also, the rest of you are also over here in this conversation as well, so you can jump in at any time and ask your own questions.
The witch's children?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
And so as you ask about the witch's children, Orlana tries to speak up to clarify what this is about. So she says, the children Stokely talks about are little dolls that the older kids leave in the forest to try to scare the young cubs. They make them from straw, wood, and twine. They tell the little ones that the witch's children can see and hear them, and that at night the dolls run out back to the swamp and tell their mother what they've seen. The story then goes that the witch Astrid Monroe would come and steal the children in the middle of the night while they were asleep. But of course these are just tales, the same ones that have been going around since I was a cub. There's never been any witches that have lived around these parts. And the old woman that used to live by herself in the swamp was named Astrid Monroe. And my mother knew this when she was a child, and she told me as she grew up that the kids that's where the kids got the name for the witch. She said, my mother told me that she was just an old widow that lived out in the swamp and preferred to be left alone. My mother said she was actually a nice lady. However, Stokely has to go to school, and I have to get back to work to finding these herbs for the town. Please find my little girl, but I fear that the rest of the watchers, they're just, they find it as another job, just another thing to do. And so, actually, at this point, she's gonna reach out and hand Max. She's gonna reach out and hand you a little doll, and she says, "This was Nettie's doll. Please use this to help find my little girl. Let this be your inspiration to bring her home. She always thought of this doll as her protector." And so she reaches out and hands you the doll.
I will take the doll and put it in my backpack,
Okay.
peeking out a little bit.
Yeah, and you can see the doll. It's just really simple doll, really easy, easily made. It's got a blue shirt on, and so what looks to be, some denim pants, or not denim, excuse me, but like some sewed-on blue pants, and has some long blonde hair on the side, but real simple. Couple buttons for the eyes.
So I stand up and I ruffle Stokely's hair and tell him that we're going to get his sister back and start making my way towards the door.
Thank you, big man, he says. He doesn't see people of your height most of the time, so. So anything else before you guys are leaving? Any other questions on your mind?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so you guys got the information that the site where Nettie went missing was just 5 minutes behind the house. So are you guys wanting to go to that first, or talk to the other families, or what are you going to be doing next?
I think we should go check out where she went missing behind the house.
I
Mm.
agree.
Everybody else with that?
Yep.
Okay. So as you all get up and you start making your way outside of the very homely house, the very small house, Orlana turns around as you guys make your way out, and she says, "Thank you all once again. I know you don't know how much this behind you," and she slams the door right in your face. So she yells at you, slams the door. You all four turn around, and we are going to hold on, put on some music here. You all turn around to see 4 giant weasels. I know they sound menacing as fuck. They're weasels. Big weasels. They're bigger. You know, this weasel would be the size of, I don't know. It could take down a deer very easily, just to give you kind of scale and perception. They're all kind of golden brown hair color, long wispy tails at the back, all brandishing fangs. And so now you guys are cornered. You're all standing right outside the household, and you see 4 of these weasels. Excuse me, it's only 3 weasels, my bad. You see 3 of these weasels out probably 25 to 30 feet in front of all of you. They all kind of start closing in very cautiously, all grimacing or showing their teeth, everything like that. Obviously, they're looking for a fight. So, with that, we're going to roll initiative.
All right.
Combat, baby.
All right, I got a 15.
Okay. So that was Max got a 15. All right. Thought what'd you get?
4.
Wow, nice. JD, what are you at?
8.
8. Okay, and what's your name again? God, I can't read it.
You can just say Lee.
Lee. Okay. Lee Zen.
I got 19.
19. Okay. So we got Lee, and then we're going to have Max. What was yours again? Sorry.
15.
Yeah. So we'll have Max. We will then have the weasels. And then we are going to come in with JD and Thodak.
Hell yeah, bringing up the rear.
Okay. So, you guys are standing right in front of the household. You can see that there are 3 weasels that are currently coming at you, all evenly spaced out, 25 to 30 feet away. They're on the opposite side of the road that led you down here to the Morden household, and the road is kind of splitting between you and the group as well. So, too many
And
minutes.
how far away from us are they?
They are roughly 25 to 30 feet.
Okay.
So, we now have, at the top of the initiative order will be Lee Zen. What are you doing, bud?
I guess. Let me just stride up to one of them.
Okay, so you got one on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right. So which one are you
Alright.
going to go for?
I'll go after the one on the right.
Okay, the one on the right?
Yep.
So what are you doing to him?
Let's give him a good whap over the head with my staff.
Okay, smack him with the staff. I like it. Go for it.
Yep. We're looking at 20 to hit.
20 will definitely hit a weasel.
And then we're looking at... Come on. 6. It's looking at 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. All right. So now with that, you run up to the weasel and you grab your staff and you just come right over the shoulder with it. One fluid motion. You know, you guys are actually, the other 3, watching him run up, you haven't seen him in combat yet. He's very fluid with his motion. I mean, the strike he puts out is it's fucking lightning fast. So you all are a little bit, I mean, you might not say it out loud, but you're all a little bit impressed at what he just did with that strike. So He runs up and he pulls it one fluid motion, swings it, and smacks the weasel right on the face. You can see a cut come on the weasel's eye and starts bleeding. Actually did quite a bit of damage to it. So with that, next in initiative order is going to be Max.
All right, I am going to use Vicious Mockery on the weasel that he just hit.
Okay. And what's
I'm going
Vicious
to
Mockery
say,
do?
You look like you stink a lot.
Okay. just fuck that weasel up. Go for it. So what does it do?
It has to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or it takes 1d4 of psychic damage and has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, what is your spell DC?
Spell DC is 13.
And you said wisdom, correct?
Yeah.
12. It does not succeed.
Alright, so 1d4. Alright, that is 1 damage to it.
Okay. So you deal 1 damage to it, and what else? It gets disadvantage or something like that, you said?
Yeah, it gets disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll use my bonus action to give an inspiration die to Thar'dia.
Okay.
Sweet.
And it's a d6 that you can add to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Yeah, it just cannot be added to damage.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what are you doing to inspire Thar'dia?
Hey man, these weasels are pretty ugly. I think you could cleave one in half.
All right, and so as he says that, you just you feel your muscles ripple, and you start thinking to yourself, you know what? I probably could cleave one of those in half, and you just get inspired as shit. So you get your 1d6. Cool.
Sweet.
All right, so there are 3 weasels, and it is now actually going to be their turn. So the first one, since Lee came up and ran into melee range with it and obviously did the most damage to it, it's going to focus on you. It's going to go for a bite attack. Excuse me. Okay. Ooh, shit. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll get me.
Okay, and it is... I need my D4. Where is it? All right. That is going to be 5 damage to you.
All right.
So with that, oh no, wait, hold on, excuse me, hold on. That is not, because that was a Vicious Mockery weasel. It had disadvantage, and then it rolled a 3. So no
Okay.
damage to you, add 5 points back. Nice Vicious
Yeah,
Mockery.
Alright.
Bard.
Fucking up all of my plans already. Great, this is awesome, guys.
That damn smelly weasel.
So the next weasel that's in the middle, it's actually going to run forward, and it's going to make an attack at you, Max, because it saw what you did to its little weasel buddy over there. And it's not liking that, so he's going to come up and try to make a bite attack at you. That is going to be a 8 to hit.
Alright, that does not hit.
Yeah, did not figure it did. Awesome. So as the weasel runs up to you, it goes to make a bite attack, and you just kind of just slide to the side, brush it off, no big deal to you whatsoever. The weasel was not prepared for how awesome you are.
Can we get a Illidan voiceover on that, please?
You are not prepared. That's all I got. I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted too, so I'm sorry. So other than that, what's the next? The next weasel is going to... It recognizes the biggest threat from what it can tell is going to be Thar'dia. So it's going to run into melee range right in front of the house in the herb garden. It's actually going to bounce over some of the herbs and mess the herbs up as it comes to the herb garden. And it's going to come right at Thar'dia.
It's because I'm green, right?
Yeah, it's because you're green. It's a racist weasel. That is going to be a 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And you are not raging, so this will not be halved. It is going to do... Ooh, baby. 7 damage to you.
Oof. Okay.
And not halved because you are not raging.
Yep.
And with that, that is the Weasel's round of combat. So we are then going to... Who's next? That is going to be JD. JD, what are you doing, buddy?
I would like to place Sacred Flame on the weasel that has the lowest health, the one on the right.
Okay, the one on the right. And what does Sacred Flame do again? I mean, I can look it up here. So I got all the spells because I'm awesome like that.
I have it too. I have to figure out how to unlock my phone quicker.
That's fine. Target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's see what dexterity roll would be for the weasel. They are very dexterous. They like to bounce around, dart in and out of combat. So let's see what he's got here. That is going to be a 6, and your spell save DC is a 13, right?
13.
Yep, so
Yeah.
it fails the save, so it's going to take 1d8 damage. Go ahead and roll that.
3.
3, okay. Okay, so with that, you see this holy, this magical holy flame come down from the sky and just singe this weasel. It's already looking bad. It's got some blood on it. It's already been mocked. It already thinks it's a horrible weasel. And you just come down with this sacred flame and just burn the hair off the weasel. He's now, got patchy hair missing all over his body. This weasel's looking very rough. He not looking like he's going to stand up too much longer. But he has 2 buddies that are untouched and are ready to go.
So we're just thoroughly killing this guy's self-esteem.
Yeah, like this weasel just he's had a bad day. He didn't have anybody to get him a date for prom or anything, and now you guys are just destroying him. So he's not happy. With that, we are now going to go to Thar'dia's turn. Thar'dia, what you doing, bud?
Sweet. I'm going to cast a Great Axe at the weasel in front of me.
I think you probably want to do something before that, don't you?
Yeah, actually, I would love to rage.
Okay, so you're gonna rage. Sounds good. So go ahead and roll that on the one in front of you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that.
That will be a 15.
Give me 1 second. That will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, bud.
That will be 10 damage.
10 damage? Jesus. Okay, well.
That's a barbarian for you.
Yeah, I know. So as this weasel's just standing right in front of you, it already got 1 bite off on you. With that, you can feel the blood coming out of your arm, and you just get filled with rage. Your muscles start rippling. You can see veins just popping out. You give a big old scream, and you just pull that great axe from behind and just slam down on top of this weasel, cleaving a big chunk right into the left shoulder of the weasel. It lets out a really piercing scream that I can't make because I'm not a weasel. And that was a lot of damage. It does not look good. So, yeah, wow, good round. So with that, we are now back to the top of the combat round. We are back to Lizanne. Lizanne, what are you doing, bud?
The rat in front of me is still alive.
Yes, he's
Or
still
the
alive,
weasel.
but he looks
Yeah,
very
yeah.
bad.
Okay. Let's just give him a nice tap to finish him off.
Okay, you're just gonna tap him with the staff?
Yep.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's 8 total.
8 damage? Oh, excuse me, 8 to hit.
No, 8 to hit.
Okay, and with that, you go to swing with your staff, and it just bounces out of the way. You weren't expecting how fast this creature can move. You thought it was mortally wounded, so it wouldn't have its reflexes. But even with that big wound on it, it's in fight for survival right now. So adrenaline's pumping through it, and it just pops out of the way, and you whiff with the staff. Any bonus
All right.
action or anything like that?
I don't have any, no.
Okay. So, okay, that's your round.
Yet at least.
So, next up would be Max. Max, what are you doing?
I will pull out my rapier and I will stab the rat that attacked me. That is still
Okay, the one that went up to attack you?
unattacked.
Got you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. 17.
17, that'll definitely hit. Go for it.
All right. Let's roll some damage. That is 10 damage.
10 damage. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, and so that was with the rapier. So as this weasel comes up and it tried to bite you, you just kind of moved out of the way, and with that same motion, you grabbed your rapier off your side and you just jabbed right through the heart. Or what you would assume to be the heart on this weasel. It goes through and you can hear, a weasel coughed out, a little bit of blood spits out from his mouth. You definitely think you hit a vital organ somewhere. He's looking pretty rough. Anything else?
Let's see. Am I within 5 feet of 2 different weasels right now?
Yes, sir, you are.
I'm going to move around the weasel that I'm right next to so that I'm not next to 2 of them.
Okay, so you're gonna move to the opposite side of the weasel then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. So you use your movement. You move over. It's only 5 foot. You move around, staying in melee range. So no attack of opportunity or anything like that.
Great.
So that is your round. Next will be the weasels round. And God, these are all looking pretty rough. So the first weasel, who is still up on Li Zin, he's going to assess his situation, and he's going to stay in melee range, but he's going to try to run behind you and make a bite attack against your knee, or excuse me, against your leg. So he's going to come around with his fangs, and he's going to not bite you. So that was an 8 to hit, I'm assuming?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so that doesn't hit. He goes to bite you. You can see what he's doing, because while the weasels are fast, you are faster. You are Zen, you are monk. And you just whip that leg out of the way real quick. It goes to bite, catches nothing but air. So weasel attack against you. Good. The next weasel, which is going to be the weasel that is in melee combat with Max. Max, you just ran behind the weasel. It's not liking you being behind it, so it's going to turn around real quick 180, and it's going to lunge at your leg as well. So he's going to make a bite attack. That'll hit. That's going to be a 24.
All right, yeah, that hits.
Okay, let's see what he's got. Woohoo! That's going to be +3. That's going to be 7 damage to you.
All right, jeez.
Yeah, that's 1d4 +3, and I've rolled d4, so.
Yep, that'll do it.
So that's 7 damage to you. What health are you at currently?
I am 6 health.
6 health. And Thar'dia, what are you at?
I'm at 10.
Okay, you're at 10. Cool. All right, so that is going to be that weasel's attack, and the last weasel, which is still in melee combat with Thar'dia, he's going to leap up, and he's actually going to try to grab you on the throat. As you swung down with your axe, he's going to jump up and try to grab that jugular as you land down. Yep. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
Yes, sir.
You are raging, though, so this will be half damage. Jesus Christ. That's going to be 7 damage, reduced to 3, because you're raging. And so for half damage, we're always going to round down, just for everybody.
All right.
So. And that is that last weasel's attack. So all 3 weasels have gone. However, what you guys didn't notice was another weasel off on the far right-hand side who's going to now join in with his buddies. He was flanking around everybody, and he's going to join in. And so he's going to make a attack at JD.
Nice.
So he's going to run up and try to bite you on the leg while you're not looking. Now, what's your passive perception, JD?
That was a.
Bottom left-hand corner of the first page is passive perception.
I gotta go the whole way up there.
Yep.
It's also just 10 plus your perception.
Yeah.
So it'd be 15?
No,
right?
it's actually written down. Here, I got it pulled up. It is. It's the box right above it where it says other proficiencies in language, and right under the charisma box it says 13, passive perception.
Okay.
Okay, so it is 13, and it is going to have rolled. Yeah, it actually rolled a 12 on its stealth check. So, you do see this coming. So it's not going to get advantage on you on the roll because you notice it coming out of the corner of your eye, and you're going to make or you're going to try to get out of the way, and it's going to try to attack you at the leg. So coming in with a bite attack, that is going to be 10 to hit your AC.
No.
No, it does not. So you notice it right at the perfect timing coming out of your peripheral vision, and as soon as it makes a lunge attack at your arm, you pull your arm back, and it whiffs, hits nothing but air. You can hear the jaws clamp down real tight, but your arm was not in the vicinity, so you are good to go. So that is the weasel's turn. It is now, now going to be JD's turn. So JD, you have a weasel right in front of you that just came out, fresh health. You have another weasel close in your proximity to Maximus, and then the last one is about 10 foot away on Thar'dia, excuse me. So, and then you also have one that's very wounded, 30 foot away in melee combat with Li Zin. So which one are you going to go for, and what are you doing? Or you might do a heal for your party as well.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna do Cure Wounds. one, Ben. What's your character's name? Max?
Max. Yep.
Max, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna cast
All
a Cure Wounds on Max. So you have to be in melee range, I'm pretty sure, which you are. You're within 5 feet of him. So yeah, a creature that you can touch, 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which is plus 3?
5.
5, yes, because you're proficient.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
now hold on, real quick, just a question for you, Dixon, maybe. With that where it says spellcasting ability modifier, do you add in your proficiency bonus with that? Because his wisdom's a plus 3.
No.
Yeah.
It would.
No, what?
It wouldn't
doesn't?
add in the proficiency. It
I thought it
doesn't
does.
add your spell attack bonus. It adds to your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So it's 3, it's
Yeah.
not 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 is if you're trying to make an attack. So this just automatically hits. So it's gonna be 3. So 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
So am I rolling that, or is he?
He can roll it.
Okay.
Let's roll d8, add 3 to it.
8.
All right, now also hold on. Top right hand of your sheet. Remember that ability, the Disciple of Life. So it's 2 HP plus the spell's level.
It's
Two-
already healing me to full.
Yeah, but even still, I'm just trying to get him used to looking at that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's 2 HP plus 1, so that would be another 3 on top of that because it was a first level spell.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that would be another 3 on top of that, so that'd be 8, 9, 10, 11 points of healing to you.
All right, I'm very healthy.
So I want to
Alright.
do a bonus action, though, too.
Do you have anything that can be used as a bonus action?
Yeah?
What do you have?
I have, where's that? Shield of Faith.
Okay.
A shimmering field appears that surrounds creatures of your choice within range, granting +2 AC for the duration.
Okay, and who are you putting this on?
My other 3 party members. Max,
okay.
Lee.
It surrounds a creature of your choice, so only one person.
Oh, okay. It's only 1.
Yep.
So I want to put it.
And now I
on-
will also remind you can do this. However, this is going to be both of your spells used for the day, so you won't be able to use any other spells until you sleep for the night.
Except for
yeah.
the cantrips. You can still use your cantrips.
Yeah, cantrips can be used 100 times. However much you want to use them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So maybe I don't want to do a bonus action yet.
Yeah, just
okay,
up to you.
No.
If you want to burn all
No,
of it.
no.
Okay.
No.
All right, so you healed Max up to full, and that will be your turn then.
Yep.
Okay, so after that, next up is going to be Thar'dia. Thar'dia, what you doing, bud? You got one on you. You got one on you in melee combat, one that's very close to you, within 10 foot over on Max, and then you have a third one that's within 10 foot over on JD as well. The one on you looks pretty injured, as well as the one on Max. The one that's on JD looks very healthy.
Okay. And do I have any health potions or anything?
Yes, and that's one thing I forgot to tell everybody. I'm just going ahead and starting all of you with 2 health potions, normal healing potions. So write that in your inventory somewhere. Everybody has 2 health potions, just to give you guys a little bit of flavor on what you want to do. So you do, and if you want to drink a health potion, that is going to be considered a bonus action. It won't be an action. If you want to hand that health potion to somebody else or make somebody else drink it, that would be an action. But if you're drinking it yourself, you pull it out, you drink it, you're good. Bonus action.
Okay, I would like to use one as a bonus action then.
Okay, go ahead and use that.
What is the
It's 2d4 plus
Healing?
2.
2d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2.
All right. And now I'm going to swing my great axe at the one in front of me, trying to finish it off.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's a 17 to hit.
17 will hit a weasel. Go for it. Give me that damage.
Oof, oof. That is a 15 damage.
15 damage. God, barbs are OP. God damn it. So you take your great axe and you're just raging. You grip a real tight grip on that handle, come straight over that shoulder and just cleave down. Head slices off like butter, falls to the ground, starts spewing out blood from the trachea and everything else where the head is now missing. 100% clean cut. That is 100% a dead weasel right in front of you. Sir. That weasel is no more. Okay.
He gone.
So no bonus action or anything like that. You're good.
Can I use my movement to go ahead and move?
Oh, no, hold on.
over
Well,
to
yeah,
the
your
one
bonus. Well, first off, your bonus action was gone because you used the health potion. How much did that heal you up?
It's 7.
7.
total,
Okay, cool.
So I'm up to 14.
All right, awesome. And where are you moving?
I want to move over to JD and kind of see if I can position myself in between the weasel and him.
Okay, so you want to try to put a barrier between you and him and the
Yeah.
weasel. All right, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so you move over, you come behind, or you come in front of JD. Do you say anything to him as you brush past, or?
No.
All right, so you just jump in front. Obviously, he knows what you're trying to do. You're trying to protect him. JD, are you going to allow him to push in front of you? Or do you want this weasel for yourself? Your mic's
You're
muted.
muted,
Sorry, I said absolutely. I'm not greedy.
Okay, so you let Thar'dia push in front of you. You throw no contest to him. He pushes in front of you, and he's gonna try to block you. So,
Shoot.
all right. With that, we are now back to the top of the list, and it is going to be Lee's turn.
All right.
So you still got one
weasel.
very bloody weasel
Yeah.
in front of you. Just can't
This
seem to get
weasel's
him out
giving
of there.
me issues, man. All right,
right.
let me just give him one more tap with my stick.
All right, you're gonna hit him. You're gonna get him this time.
Yeah, we're looking at 20 total.
Yes, that'll hit. I'm assuming non-natural.
Not natural.
Okay, cool.
All right, and we're looking at 9 total on damage.
9 total on damage. Okay, so with that, you pull out that, you pull out that staff one more time. You give it a nice twirl in the air. Come in just baseball swinging towards him, shooting for a home run. And as you hit him, you hear a crown crack, on the neck just snaps. You see his body fall limp. His legs start twitching. You would definitely consider that one dead weasel in front of you.
All right. And then
Bonus action or anything? Movement.
Yeah. So the one in front of Thar'dia now is
Right.
healthy,
dead.
right?
No. Thar'dia's one is dead. The one that's in front of Max is very injured, and the one that's over by JD is 100% health.
Okay. So let's move to the one in front of Max.
Okay.
So I'll take a running charge, or not a charge. I'll take a running attack. Kind of vault myself with the stick and kick the dude with my bonus action.
Okay, and you can use that as a bonus action? I don't know how monks work.
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, with the monk, I can do an unarmed attack as a bonus action.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So as you crack the one in front of you and you hear its neck give away to that nice snap, you immediately turn around and just kind of low run, all awesome style, and you run over just all silent and shit. You're coming in for an unarmed attack on the one that's in front of Max. Go ahead and make the roll.
We're looking at that's going to be 13 to hit.
13 just barely misses. So as you're coming in,
Okay.
you're running at a full sprint. You slip a tiny bit on the gravel that's right in front of you, and it just throws that kick off just a tiny bit. And so as you go, you wind up the kick, you're just a little bit off, and it skids right past the weasel.
All right.
Okay, so that is going to be your turn. And before Max's turn comes up, you guys all, or at least a few of you, start hearing what seems to be footsteps, heavy footfalls coming from down the path. So as a few of you might turn to notice or see coming out of the corner of your eye, you see somebody that should be familiar to you is now elven man, snow white hair running down the path. And you guys notice this to be Elar Nafir. And as he runs in, he yells, "Die, you wretched beast!" And he comes in swinging at one of the weasels with his longsword. And it's actually going to be the weasel that's on JD right now, the fresh weasel. So he's going to go ahead and make an attack at that weasel.
Nice.
And that is going to be +5 to hit. Yeah, that's going to be a 19 to hit, which definitely hits. And he is rolling big stuff, 1d12 plus 3. With that, he pulls out 10 damage. And that weasel is now very injured. So he comes in with the long sword, and he goes and he brings the long sword in horizontal. And as it does, it sinks right into the shoulder of this giant weasel, and he actually gets stuck a little bit, and he has to pull it out with some force. And with that, Elar's actually going to bring that same momentum around and come in for a side attack with the same sword, making a second attack. And that is going to be a 12 to hit, which misses. So, As he comes, he pulls the long sword out of the weasel, and he comes to come on the side, or to swing at the side as well. The weasel notices there's now a threat behind him. He hurriedly jumps out of the way, and LR just swings and misses with the long sword. So 1 strike for LR, but made 1 a hit, so that'll work for us. With that, we are now going to go to Max. It is your turn. You now still have the weasel in front of you that is very injured, and a weasel now to your right-hand side next to JD that is injured and being flanked by 3 different people.
I'm going to go for the one that is in front of me.
Okay.
With my rapier again.
Okay, so you're making another attack with the rapier. Go ahead and roll it.
That is a 6.
A 6. As you go to push this sword into the weasel, you actually get bumped from behind as Thar'dia runs behind you to step in front of JD for the next round. And as he bumps you, he throws off your hit. And sorry, bud, you missed that one. You can blame that one on Thar'dia.
My shoulder might be.
Might be.
But I inspired you.
Speaking of, have you used that inspiration yet, Sword?
Not.
Thar'dia? Okay, cool. So you still have that. Just make sure you remember that. So with that, you still have a bonus action if you want to use it, Max?
I have nothing to use for my bonus action.
Okay. So with that, we will then go to JD. JD, you now have off your right-hand side, back a little bit behind you, you have the one weasel that's in combat with Max, and then to your right-hand side, you have the weasel that has just now been very injured thanks to Sir L.R. Nafir on your right-hand side. So what are you doing?
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on the one to my right.
Okay. So go ahead and... Is that
That's
just
a
an attack
1d8,
roll?
right?
Or is that... No, it's a dex save, I think. Yeah, so he makes a dexterity save, so hold on, give me 1 second. It's plus 3, 16, so that would be a 19. Yours is 13, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so he saves from that. So as you bring this sacred flame down from the sky, you don't have a full grasp on the magic yet as you're still learning to use it, and it just seems to fizzle out right before it hits the target. No damage is dealt.
It's more like a lamp instead of a sacred flame.
Yeah, it's really bright, but not effective whatsoever.
Okay, so I'd like to step back at this point
Okay.
towards safety.
Now, you are in melee combat with the weasel that is to your right. Oh, no, actually, no, you're not.
But isn't there somebody else?
Yes, Thar'dia came and stood in front of you, so you're correct. So now, if you were to move back, Thar'dia would be blocking you, so that the weasel would not get an attack of opportunity. So if you want to move out of combat range with him, that's perfectly fine.
Yep.
How far do you want to move back? You probably have about
30
5.
feet.
Okay, well, you have about 5 foot until you're backed up to the door of the Morden house. So you can go to the left or the right a lot further, or you can back up 5 feet and have your back to the door.
I'd like my back to the door.
Okay, so you back up 5 foot, you put your back on the door, maybe wipe a little bit of the sweat off your brow, and all right, good to go. So, and that is going to bring up Thar'dia. Thar'dia, what you doing?
I guess I'm going to go ahead and swing.
Swinging with the great axe?
Yes, sir.
Get her done.
The
See
one,
if I can.
the one on Maximus.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one right in front of me, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that one. That's 18 to hit.
18 to hit. That'll definitely hit.
Sure.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
That is 12 damage.
12 damage. With that, you go ahead and bring down the great axe, once again chopping this in two. This one, the head doesn't come off. You do a little bit of a 45 degree angle right through the torso of it. You can actually see the individual ribs split off as you come straight down through it. The contents of its stomach spill out onto the ground, and it's a dead weasel. 100%. And since
Okay,
I am... Go ahead.
I grin and say to Max, "Hey, I did it!"
In that voice? Is that the voice Thar'dia
Yeah.
uses?
That exact voice.
So he's
job,
still,
man.
The puberty is still kicking in. He's still a young orc. His voice just breaks a little bit, and then, yeah, I did it. So a little bit of a break there. A little embarrassed, but he just chopped a weasel in half. He's feeling pretty good. Okay, and I am a bad DM. I forgot the weasel's turn, so they're gonna make their turn now. One of them's dead. That's fine. We only have one weasel left, so he's gonna make an attack at LR Nafir. Actually, it's going to be a 11, which does not hit. So the weasel reaches out and tries to bite at whoever came behind him and dealt that massive blow. It whips its head around and tries to take a bite. LR's too quick for it and finds nothing but air. So weasel's turn is gone. And we are to the top of the round. There is only one weasel left. It's overflanked by Max, Thar'dia, and LR. This weasel is very injured, and it has 3 people surrounding it. Lee, it's your turn. What are you doing?
Does LR not take its turn?
LR comes after, or right before Max.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
He came in mid-round.
Okay.
Lee will actually not. He'll like relax now.
Okay.
And just
So
like,
he's gonna
watch
let
this
them-
last rat die.
Okay, so he's gonna let the other guys deal with it. All right, so you forego your turn. That's fine. Do you want to just hold your action and just say if no one kills it, okay, I'll take my action?
Yeah, if it doesn't die, then I'll step in and
Okay.
try to kill it.
Sounds good. So you're just holding your action until it dies. Sounds good. So with that, it's going to be Max's turn. So Max, go ahead and what are you doing?
I will just try to stab it.
Okay, rapier to it again. Hey, it worked the first time. Go for it again.
All right, 16.
16 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage. It don't have to be a lot. I promise you that.
Well, it is 10 damage.
10 damage will definitely do it. So, as you come in with this rapier, there's one last lone weasel. It's backing up. It's kind of cornered. The other 3 are coming around it. You can see, if you look over the shoulder of everyone else, you see Lee back there just kind of taking a breather. You know, he knows you guys have it handled. And so you come in and you find a way split between between Thar'dia and JD, and you kind of motion in, and like no one even sees your body come through. You just reach out with an arm, just an arm comes through different bodies, and a rapier just sinks right into its heart. Everyone kind of looks down to see you standing there. And you're like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I killed it." And so you come in with that rapier, and it finds perfect lung and heart shot. The weasel falls limp to the ground, starts gurgling, popping up some blood and stuff like that. But this weasel, you can see the last little bit of life leave its eyes, and it's going to go ahead and die. And with that, you guys are victorious against the weasels.
Fuck yeah, none of us died.
No one died. A couple of you got a little close though.
Yeah.
So let's
I would
switch.
like to wipe the blood off of my rapier on one of the weasels
Okay.
and put it away.
All right, so you use the weasel as a little blood blanket, and you just kind of sit there and comb it through its fur and get your rapier all nice and shiny again. You're good to go. The blood actually might have seemed to polish a little bit, so it looks even a little bit better now.
So following his example, I'm going to take a lick of the blood off mine.
Okay, so Thar'dia grabs the great axe and just goes and takes a big old lick of the blood. Do anything after that? What does it taste like? Anything?
It tastes like a smelly ass weasel.
Smelly ass?
I announced this to the group.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say to him?
This tastes like smelly ass weasel.
Anybody else acknowledging his licking of the blood?
I'm just looking in the corner. I'm staring at the wall still.
Okay.
'Cause I don't need to see that. Okay.
All right, so JD's kind of covering his face a little bit. Thought going in a little deep.
I would like to knock on the door again.
Okay. So go ahead and knock on the door. So you knock on the door and you see a very frightened feminine face look out the door. Eyes just as big as saucers. And did you kill them?
Yeah, they're all dead. If these are edible and not just gross, then you can go ahead and have them so that you don't have to worry about food for a bit since you're missing your daughter.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll clean them up after we've started or after we've found your daughter.
She looks outside and she sees the 4 dead weasels. And mind you, these are large weasels. These are probably every bit of 300, 400 pound creatures. Probably at a full length with tail included, probably 7 to 8 foot long as well. So this is a lot of meat. So, and these are definitely edible. So she looks out, she sees the 4, and she's like, oh yes, we can definitely use those for food. I'm so glad that you guys killed them before they caused any more trouble. But we'll have to get the rest of the town to help us clean these and everything else. I'm sure that, and then at that point she notices LR's there as well. And she says, I'm sure LR can bring some people, and we can get these carved up, and we can help feed a little bit more of the town as well. So they'll definitely be able to take enough meat for her, but this amount of meat would be enough to feed one family for a month, 2 months, and they don't have any way to store the food that long. So they'll definitely take their fill, but there's no way they're gonna be able to take all the meat. But she does thank you for allowing them to take the meat and everything like that, and everything else. Anything else for anybody else?
So I'd like to just point out that that's like the olden day equivalent of bringing a casserole to someone's family who they died.
Yeah. You bring a giant weasel to somebody.
Well, I kept thinking about the meat and saying, man, it would be good in a casserole,
Well, maybe you carve up you can go carve up a little bit while you're waiting and grab some. Whatever you want to do, man.
Throw some of those delicious herbs in there, man.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. All right, so as you're all standing there at the door, Elar Nafir comes up to the group and he says, I'm glad to see none of you are dead. Have you found any new information about this missing girl? Anybody?
We are going to go check out the location where she disappeared to see if we can track her down that way.
Okay. He looks at you. He's like, "Yes, that's a good thing to do. Fresh eyes on the crimes or on the scene where she was taken would be very helpful. Maybe we've missed something that you might find." Was there anything else that you've learned by talking to the mother that maybe we missed?
I want to mention the witch's children to him.
The witch's children. Okay. He says, "You're talking of the little dolls that the children make."
Yes.
Yes. These dolls, it's what the older children do for fun to scare the little pups, but there's nothing of it. I mean, we've all heard the tales of the witch, especially when I was a little boy, but there's never been any actual proof of a witch in these parts. I would tell you to forget this absurd tale of a witch and look for some other information that is not maybe from a little boy. We have little time to find this girl, and I don't know what I would do if it was my children, but I would know I would not be chasing witches. This much I know. So you might check with the other parents of the missing cubs. Maybe you can ask some questions that we don't think to ask. If you find any other real information, please let me know. And as he says this, he kind of pushes through the rest of the group and goes up and greets Orlana. And she gestures for him to come inside, and he goes up inside the house and he closes the door behind him. You guys are left standing out in front, 4 dead weasels. You gonna try to take anything off of them? Because I mean, you might take the pelts off since the pelts aren't gonna be used for eating or something like that. Somebody wants to try their hand at the pelts, maybe you can sell those to a vendor, whatever the case might be. Maybe their claws, maybe some of the meat, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll try to skin one.
Okay. Is Thar'dia going to be the only one that's trying to skin anything? Anybody else trying to skin these to get pelts or anything else?
Well, we're taking a pound of the meat. I mean, that's
okay. Well, you'll have to do that. That's fine. Anybody else?
I'm just gonna break a claw off.
Okay.
Keep it for myself.
Okay, and they are kind of like really hooked claws, so I mean it comes up and it hooks out, and the claws themselves are pretty long. They're maybe 4.5 to 5 inches long. They're used mostly for digging and tunneling and finding stuff in the ground, different bugs and other various small marmots to eat and stuff like that. So the claws are pretty big. I mean, it can be fashioned into a necklace or something like that really nicely.
Yeah, I just want to break off one of those claws.
Okay, go ahead and
put it in my pack.
Lee, go ahead and make me a survival check to see how easily you can get the claw off and if you damage it at all.
All right. We are looking at 9. We are looking at 11 total.
11 damage, or excuse me, 11 total. Yeah, 11's fine. I mean, these claws aren't horribly hard to get off. They're not embedded deeply into the skin. So if you just cut around the skin, you can essentially just pop it out of the cuticle and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So claw, you can go ahead and put 1 giant weasel claw on your inventory. And go ahead and put like pristine or fine or something like that, just so you know what condition it's in as well.
All right.
And so, Max, are you doing anything at this time? Or are you just waiting for the others?
No. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Tapping my foot a little impatiently.
Okay. You're trying to find this girl, everyone else is looting the bodies of these weasels. That's fine. So, Thar'dia, you're going to go up and you're going to try to skin one of the weasels and get the hide off of it. Go ahead and make me a survival check to see how easily you can get the hide off and whether or not you mess it up.
Ah, that was so close to a natural 20.
Survival check.
That is a 10.
10? You get the hide off, but I mean you're not used to skinning animals. It's not your forte. So I mean, while you do get it off, there are some punctures in the hide itself to where the great axe just slit through a little bit. So it's not the best hide, but it is in fair condition. So you do have one fair weasel hide. And JD, you were wanting to get a pound of meat off. I'm not gonna say you have to roll for that. It doesn't matter how awesome the cut of the meat is. You go up to it. You pull off some of the hide, you grab yourself a pound of meat. So go ahead and put 1 pound of giant weasel meat. You got that in your inventory.
Okay.
While we are waiting for Thar'dia and JD to like finish skinning up their stuff,
Okay.
Lee walks up to Max and he's just like, "I do not trust the elf."
Which elf?
Yeah, he seems like
I'm sorry, I'm asking for my questions. You're talking about Thar'dia or not Thar'dia? JD?
No, Elodin.
Oh, LR.
LR.
You
Right.
said Illidan.
I'm really bad. Yeah, I'm really bad with names.
LR. All right, so you don't trust the elf. Gotcha. Max, you got any reply to that?
Yeah, I think he's a dick. Won't even check out the swamp. I want to check out the swamp. I think that's a good lead.
If the trail leads us there.
Okay. So at this time, both Thar'dia and JD are finishing up what they're doing with the weasels. So you guys are left standing out in front of the Morton household. What are you doing?
We're headed to the scene of the crime, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back behind the house where Nettie was last seen?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes behind the house is what Orlana said. So as you guys making your way there, like I said, it's 5 to 8 minutes, she said, behind the house. You guys any chatting during this time or anything else? Just focused on the mission?
Focused on the mission.
Okay. So you all start following the directions that Orlana gave you, and you begin to head in the woods behind the house. The woods back behind this house is very dense. So, I mean, there have been, in front of the house, there was a few clusters of trees and stuff like that. But, I mean, the woods here, this is where most people don't go. These are old woods. These aren't used for anything. These are very dense, very hard to see through. So you walk for, maybe 5 to 8 minutes. And as you get to where you think the spot should be, I want all of you to go ahead and roll a investigation check to see if you can find the spot that Orlana was telling you about.
All right. 2.
2. Nice.
I got a 15.
15. All right. Thalek?
4.
4.
Is that the 20 dice that
Yeah.
you roll?
D20 plus whatever investigation is.
Or minus.
14.
14? Okay, so Lee and Thodak, you guys are looking around, but you just can't seem to place this whatsoever. She talked about the old pine by the stream, and you're not seeing a stream. Hell, you don't even see any pines around here. You're pretty sure all these are cedar. So you're all looking around, but obviously Max and JD, they have the keen eye. So both Max and JD, you both do see a very old pine by what looks to be a stream of some sort. The stream, very weak to say the least. Seems to be nothing more than a slow trickle at this point. Probably some kind of drought or something that's going on in the area. And the pine you see, it's definitely much taller than the rest. The base of it's very big as well. It has the bark, the grooves of the bark. You can easily walk up and put a whole hand in one of the grooves on the bark. So immense tree, over 100 foot tall. So you guys both see this? Are you letting them know? Are you just walking over there? What are you doing?
The tree's right there. Let's go check it out.
And
holy shit, there is a tree
yeah.
right there.
Dodak and Lee, you guys were looking right in that direction. You didn't see it, but it just as soon as he points it out, holy shit, you're right. Big ass pine right there. So you all see the pine and you all start making your way over. So you're now at where Orlana was saying that where Stokely said that him and his sister were playing. What are you guys doing? What are you looking for?
I want to look for tracks, see if I can find any footprints that are maybe not child-sized.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
All right.
Anybody else doing anything else? Looking for anything different?
I was gonna be looking for the same thing.
Okay, if you both want to
I
look for
got
it,
a
you can both
15.
roll. You want to look? Go ahead and roll survival for me as well, Lee.
All right. We're looking at 13.
13. Okay, so you both find a lot of tracks. Most of them look to be kids' footprints, as you were saying. A few of them do seem a little larger. However, this area is heavily played in by the kids, and there have been many of the Watcher patrols that have already been out to this location looking for Nettie. So, I mean, other than a few footprints that are a little bit bigger, you can't ascertain where or who these footprints belong to. So it could have easily come from one of the Watchers that checked the area previously.
I want to look around and see if I can see any signs of a struggle, like if someone was dragged off or something like that.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigation check.
No, I don't see shit.
What'd you roll?
3.
3. You're looking around for any signs of struggle, man. Every leaf seems to be in the exact right spot it should be. You don't see any rocks overturned. You're 100% convinced that there was no struggle here. Anybody else? What you look for?
I'd like to look for signs of a crime.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know that I want to look for footprints
So
or
you're talking
blood, but I want to look in general.
Okay, just in general, ripped clothing, anything that might catch your eye. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
All right, perception. Wow, that's a good one. All right,
Yeah, you have really high perception.
17.
17. Yeah, so you take a minute, you comb over the ground, being really intense on every little different spot you look. At first, you don't really see much. However, just as you're looking away from a spot, you see a small glint right out of the corner of your eye coming from inside of a dead, hollowed-out log. So you see a little glint of something coming from a hollowed-out log.
So I tell everyone that I see a glint coming out from the log over there.
Okay. So he gives all of you that information. Are you going to walk over, JD, or somebody else want to walk over and see what that is? Or
I think somebody steps in. I think that's what happened. Did anyone step in?
I'll walk over and check it out.
Okay, so Max, JD gives you this information saying he saw something shining in the sunlight over there, so you make your way over to the hollowed-out log. You brush off some leaves and stuff like that, and as you brush off the leaves and dirt, you actually see a small silver necklace.
All right. I would like to pick it up and open it and see what it looks like.
Yeah, so as you pick it up, you further inspect it. You can see it's not like an amulet or something where it opens and actually has an open thing.
Okay.
But it's just like one solid piece of silver that's twisted, and it's twisted into a shape of a bird that is holding a twig in its beak. And you would obviously remember this from what Orlana said, that this was the necklace that Nettie was wearing before she went missing.
All right. I will put the necklace on the doll in my backpack.
And really quickly before you do that, go ahead and roll me an investigation check while you're looking at this necklace.
All right. 15.
15. So as you're just about to put this necklace over the doll and put it away, you notice the clasp on the back of the necklace seems to be broken forcefully.
Okay. So I can't put it on the doll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll just put it in a pocket. And this necklace looks like it was torn off of her. So we should definitely check this area for any sign of struggle or anything like that.
Okay, so he relays that information to all of you. Anybody looking for anything else? Just general perception checks or what?
Yeah, I'd like to see
me...
if we can see anything else in the area that belonged to her.
Okay, so go. Anybody that wants to just generally look around, just make a general perception check for me.
Okay.
See if anything else catches any of your eyes.
I got 19.
Ooh, nice.
16 for me.
I had 18.
Hey,
I got
Jesus.
an 8.
Okay, so you're really intent on this necklace, Max. You're just really looking it over and looking at everything about it. The other three, you all start looking around after he brings the necklace to your attention. You're looking over the landscape, keeping an eye out of anything that just seems out of place or might catch your interest. And all three of you, almost simultaneously, notice about 10 foot up on a small branch, there seems to be what looks to be some kind of a little doll just sitting on top of one of the branches on the tree.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
I'm gonna climb up and grab it.
Okay, so you just immediately go and start trying to climb the tree. I will say that there aren't branches that are too close to the ground, so the the closest branch up is probably about 8 or 9 foot. So I mean, you're definitely gonna have to. You can roll an acrobatics check for it to see if you can scurry up there, but
All right.
it's pretty high. So
Damn it. 9.
9. Okay, so you run and just almost out of a cartoon, you run and you're just gonna show all these guys how you do it, how monks do it. You run, you jump, you grab the tree, and then just slide straight down the tree on your ass.
Just like get up and dust myself off, and there's a witch's child up there.
Okay. Anybody else have any ideas on how to get this doll down?
Does anyone have a bow?
I do.
I
You
see
do.
it, Torn.
Can I borrow it?
Just FYI, I see the Skype message.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, so Max is
All
gonna
right.
borrow the bow. Go for it.
I'm going to borrow the bow and shoot at the doll.
Okay. I'm assuming, or are you proficient with all simple weapons?
What kind of bow is it? Because I'm proficient with, all simple weapons.
Should be a light
Yeah.
crossbow.
Light crossbow.
I believe that's just a simple weapon. So you get to
Okay,
add your what is it? Is it dexterity for
yeah.
that?
Dexterity.
So dex plus
Dexterity
your
and
proficiency.
proficiency.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll that. And now I will say it is a small doll, so it might be kind of hard to hit.
All right. 21.
21. Wow, holy shit. So I mean, you just pick up this bow and just like a pro, like you've done it 1,000 times in your life, you pull up the hand crossbow and you just take a shot, goes right into the doll, and the doll tumbles down onto the ground.
All right. Do I need to roll damage?
No, you don't need to roll to see whether it explodes. You just completely
Explode
explode it.
the
No.
doll.
No, the doll it topples over onto the ground, and you get to it's now on the ground, so you can do with it what you want.
All right. I will return the light crossbow and also the bolt from the doll.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So you go up and you pull the bolt out of the doll and hand it back to him?
Yep.
Okay. So you now have the doll in your hand. Go ahead and let me see. Okay, so as you pick it up, you can see the doll is made mostly of small twigs. It has hair that's made from straw, and it seems to all be held together with some kind of twine. Very simple, very crude-looking doll. As you can tell, it looks like a normal doll, but gives you the creeps just a little bit. Looks a little creepy.
What does it smell like?
It smells like aged straw. Definitely some dirt mixed in there. Doesn't really have too much of a smell. It smells like the woods for the most part. There's no distinctive smell that you get off of it that would be different.
Can I try to see if it is magical in any way?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Cool. 6.
6. There is no magic coming from this doll whatsoever. You are convinced.
Well, it's not magical.
Okay. You guys gonna take his word on that? I mean, he's a magic user.
Nah, I just make fun of people.
All right.
Jorel is a true scholar, yes? Perhaps you should take a look.
Sure.
All right, Hoff. So go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. It'll be the same place as all the perception and everything else. D20 plus whatever it says.
Yeah, it's +0. Or no, it's +1. Alright, so 9 plus 10.
10. You look over the doll. You try to gather whether or not there's any kind of magic from it. There doesn't look to be any kind of magic on this doll. You're pretty sure. I mean, you're not the best suited for this task, but from what you've gathered through your travels, you're pretty convinced that this doll doesn't have any magical properties. It's just a twig and straw doll.
I will use vicious mockery on the doll just to be safe.
Go ahead. Go ahead and use the spell. That's one spell slot for you.
Nah, it's a cantrip.
Oh, is it a cantrip? Oh, fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Use it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it.
And it's just a save.
I'm going to tell you that... Oh, what's the save?
Yeah, it's a wisdom save against my spell DC.
What's your spell DC?
It's 13.
13. It doesn't have wisdom because it's a doll, and it rolled a 5. So what do you say to the doll?
You are a very ugly looking doll. You look like you were made by a child.
The doll,
Made by
as you say this, you lean down and you say this. The doll doesn't do anything. It sits in your hand.
All right. Good.
And with that,
but-
we need you to roll initiative.
Yeah, but no. If everybody would right now, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
3.
11.
14.
15 for me.
Okay. So all of you actually, as you're all talking about this doll, checking to see if there's any magical properties, you look up and you notice that this isn't the only doll. You can now see that there's a lot of these different dolls at various heights and various trees all around you. They all seem to be looking down towards the ground. And then, and the woods right now are just dead silent as you're all just looking up and seeing all these dolls looking down on you guys.
Well, that's creepy as shit.
Yeah.
And just right out of the silence breaks caw caw as a raven flies through as the woods were dead silent. So who has the doll at this moment? Is it JD or is it Max?
I don't know.
Well, no, you
I
picked it
think
up to
I
check
am
Arcana.
holding the doll.
Okay, you're holding it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's fine. You could have
I
been
took
checking.
it back to make fun of it.
Okay, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
You did
that's
vicious mockery.
Yep.
So, Max, since you're holding this doll, you already have a little bit of the creeps. You're not really trusting this doll, and then the raven comes down. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
14.
14. And as the raven flies over and lets out its forbidding screech, you let out a very loud, very embarrassing, high-pitched screech of your own. The rest of the group just looks at you. So everyone else just kind of looks at you and gives you that "really, man" look.
I will drop the doll.
Okay, so you drop the doll, you just throw it on the ground. You ain't having none of it. And I
Thar'dia is over in the corner murmuring about birds.
was about to say, Thar'dia, you have anything to say about this raven?
Fucking birds coming out of nowhere.
The fuck do they think they are?
All right, so is there anything else you guys want to check around at this site for before you leave and possibly go to talk to one of the other families or something like that?
No.
Is there any sign of a scuffle here?
Go ahead and roll a investigation check.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. You look around, and over where you found the necklace, you do see what seem to be some footprints, or there might be dug in just a tiny bit more into the hard soil. Like I said, it is a little bit of a drought around here, so it is mostly loose soil on top. So it's very dry. It doesn't get very far in, but it looks like there might be a little bit of scrapes over there. Very hard to ascertain, even with such a high roll. So, but there looks to be something that might have been a struggle over there as well, right by where you found the necklace.
All right. Well, I think we definitely found right where she was taken from. I say we can either track from here, or maybe if we know the direction that the swamp is in, I very much think we should check that out because I hate these dolls.
Right. You guys, at this point, you're all pretty new to this town. You were just all passing through right around the same time. You don't really know where a swamp would be, where you would even go for that direction. So at this point, I mean, you could try to follow the tracks, but as I said, since it's so dry and there is a drought, I mean, you could try it, but probably wouldn't be the best idea since you don't know where you're going.
It's
Before
probably-
we take off, I want to pocket the doll.
Which one? The witch's doll?
Yes,
Okay.
the he drop.
The he dropped. Okay, so you go ahead and pick up that doll, and you can put on your loot one witch's children. Or one witch's child, I guess. It's not plural.
Watch out for that thing, man. It's creepy. Keep it away from me.
I'm beginning to think this rumor of a witch is not simply a rumor.
Alright, so what are you guys doing now? Well, I mean, we're going to go ahead and say right now we're going to take a break real quick. We do have a few people needing to go bio, grab something to drink, use the restroom, whatever. So we are going to take maybe, what do you guys think? How long about? Does somebody have to shit? Anybody got shit?
No,
Yeah, I
I just
feel
gotta
like-
pee.
Just got to pee?
It's like a 5-minute break should be good.
5 minute? Okay, so let's say meet back here at 41, 42 of the hour.
All right.
All right, so I'll go ahead and mute the stream and all that stuff. So we will be back. For anybody that is watching, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We'll see you guys then.
All right.
in 3, 2, 1.
We are missing Ben. Just point that out.
That's fine. Break screen text, go away. Cool. All right, we are Bizak.
All right.
We'll let Ben know as soon as he gets his headset on. Boop, boop. And 3, 2, 1. We're back, Ben. We're back. We're streaming. Just letting you know.
I am back and I'm ready.
Cool. All right, so you guys have just finished up surveying the last point that Nettie was seen before she went missing. You did find the necklace. You found the witch's doll as well, and you found Ben actually saw, or excuse me, Max actually saw what looked to be somewhat of a scuffle, possibly. It is very hard to tell with all the dry dirt around, but you do think there was a scuffle. The necklace, the clasp on it was broken in the back. Does look like it was forcibly pulled off, so definitely not looking too good for the young girl. So you're in the woods. You just finished up surveying the area. What are you guys doing now?
So,
I
do you
think-
guys think we should go look at the other houses, or talk with other families, or what?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say we
think
should
we
probably
should
go
either
see
talk with
Samuel.
one of the other families or go to the swamp and find some witch to kill.
Well, like I said, at the moment, you don't know where the swamp is. None of you have any idea where the swamp would be. So you would at least need to
So
go to talk
figure
to
out
somebody.
where.
Yeah, you would at least need to go talk to somebody and find out where the swamp is.
I say we go talk to Samuel's family.
All
You
right.
want to do that or the oldest case? That just
Oh, either or, I don't care. One or the other. We got to do both, so whatever you guys want to do, let's do it. Yeah.
Well, who's gonna take charge and say let's go?
Let's go to Samuel's.
Okay, so you start making your way back to the town of Valenwood. As you make your way out of the forest, you do see the Morden household again. Just peering through the windows as you walk by, there doesn't seem to be anybody in it at the moment. It seems both LR and Orlana must be gone at this point. She did say that Samuel was going to have to go to school and she was going to have to go to work. So at the moment, the Morden household seems very quiet, no one around. As you guys make your way back up the road to the town, it is about a 10-minute walk. Are you guys discussing anything as you go, or just making your way up to the house?
So, are the weasels still there?
The weasels are still there. They haven't had time yet. You guys have only been gone for probably 30 minutes or so, 30, 45 minutes. So they haven't had enough time to get people out, obviously, yet to get the weasels chopped up and everything like that. But you would assume that Orlana did mention it to LR, and that there would be somebody coming on their way to harvest the weasels.
Well,
So-
on our way back into town, I'm definitely keeping a keen eye out for weasels.
Okay, so you're just check and make sure there's none of those lurking anywhere. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
That's a 2.
That's a 2. You are confident, man. You're walking. There's no weasels in sight. You've looked at every bush. It's 100% clear.
Ain't no weasels bothering us this time.
That's right. So you guys make your way back into the town itself of Valenwood. You come through the main gates, and as you do come through the main gates, you can see that there is a gate around Valenwood. It's not very big, maybe only 6 to 7 foot tall, but it does surround the whole city itself, made out of wood, very common materials. There are a couple guard towers posted on top. Guards are sitting up on top with crossbows and stuff like that. Just, general defenses if anybody was to attack the city. So you make your way up to the Commons District, where there's a lot of shops and stuff like that, where, because you were told that the Destar house was over by the Blacksmith's Forge. So making your way into the Commons District, you can see the Blacksmith's Forge easily. So go ahead, all of you roll me an investigation check to see if you can find the Destar house with the information that was given to you guys.
14.
That's a 17 for me.
I got an 8.
Okay.
17.
17. Okay, Max, you're just lost in thought right now. You're going over what this necklace could mean. You're looking at that class really intently. You're just really thinking about all the stuff that's gone in the case so far. So you're really focused out. You can't really find the house. However, the rest of your party, they have your back. They're focused on the mission. You guys easily find the house. And as you're looking at the house, you can see it's made of gray brick, much like the brick that was used for the fireplace in the town hall itself. House is very simple, as most houses are around here. It does have some black soot on the side of the wall from just the vicinity of being so close to the blacksmith's forge. The door of the house looks very weathered, and it looks like it's in need of repairs. And through the windows, you guys can see that there are the white drapes that are hanging down inside, just as LR told you there would be. The white drapes are fully covering the windows, so you cannot see inside the house. What are you guys doing?
At this point, Lee just kind of looks at Max expectantly because he's turned himself into the face.
Okay, so he's like kind of the
Like,
leader of the group so far. So
I'll walk up to the door and knock on it.
okay, you walk up to the door and you give it a couple knocks. Doof, doof, doof. You wait 5 seconds, 10, 15 passes, 20. Still no answer at the door. You would assume that there's nobody to be home.
I'm going to test the doorknob.
Okay, so go ahead and you're just gonna walk up, grab the doorknob, you jimmy it a little bit, and as you do, feels locked. You try to put a little bit of pressure on it. The door seems to be locked.
All right. Well, it seems like no one's home here.
I will say that I didn't really lead you guys through the part with LR not the best DM. You did not talk about, or you didn't ask about the parents of the children, where they worked, what they were, what they did as a trade. If you would have, LR would have told you guys, so you all probably asked this question, but he would have told you that the mother of Samuel was Alana Destar, and she actually works at the brothel in town.
Ah.
So,
What's up, Alana?
You notice no one's at the Destar house, so your next thought would have been that she worked at the brothel.
All right. Well, I will just naturally think we should maybe stop off at a brothel.
Okay, so that doesn't. You just like, hey man, let's check a brothel real quick.
Maybe they're hanging around. Maybe all the kids are there.
Okay.
Let's do something to get out of this sausage fest here.
Okay, so you all talk amongst yourself, all relaying that Alana was, she worked at the brothel, so you all decide to head over towards the brothel. One more investigation check just to see how easily you find that, or if you need to ask around.
Yeah, perfect. I got a 2. I would not know what a brothel looks like.
Anybody else?
That is
I got an. Do I have advantage on this roll since
You know
my
what?
character
Yeah, with
frequents brothel?
With your character, I would say you do have advantage, and you know what a brothel looks like. You know the signs to look for, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
All right, because that first one was really bad. The second one was worse.
Okay, so
Oh,
even with your
we got an
expertise,
8.
yeah, even with your expertise of brothels, you're just not seeing it. However, your other party members do. You all wander around maybe 5 or 10 minutes, making your way in and out of streets, down alleyways, and you do seem to find what would be the brothel. At the top of the brothel, you can see a few patrons coming out of the brothel as well, and you do see there is a sign sitting on top of the brothel, and it says the Winking Skeever Brothel. And
That's
just
a sly Skyrim reference.
I was about to say, that's just a Skyrim reference for any of you nerds out there. So you guys are at the brothel. You going in?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's go.
All right.
So do we hear some like nice club music or something?
Yeah, there's no, there's a little bit of EDM playing in there. No, there's you do hear some lutes and stuff like that coming from the doors. There are a few open windows, so the music is coming out. It does seem to be a little bit more upbeat from all the tragedy that has already been taken in this day. It does seem to be like a little bit of a haven to get away and escape those realities. So as you all make your way into the Winking Skeever, you can hear the music being played by the band as you walked in. There are drinks going around. There's laughter in the background. And actually, we're going to switch up music here. Let me find it over
yeah.
here.
How much time do we have to spare to spend here investigating?
Well, I mean, at this point, you guys have only spent probably the better part of an hour. And there are multiple groups out looking and searching different leads and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're just doing the best what you can with what the information you've already gotten from LR is. So, I mean, it's not like you're the only group and time is of the essence for you guys, because there are probably 8, 9, 10 different parties out looking along with the Watchers as well. So it's a full-on manhunt looking for this little girl. So you can take your time and follow leads thoroughly to make sure no one else has missed anything that you guys wouldn't.
So before we walk into the brothel, I turn to Lee and ask him how my beard looks. Is the beard on point? Are we good?
You
So-
have a beard.
This giant half orc just looks at you and he's like, "Hey man, how's my beard look?" He doesn't want to go in without his beard looking good.
Just like look up at him and it's like, you have a beard.
Sweet.
Sweet. All right, so you all go in. Let me see. Inside the brothel itself, it's very dimly lit with a fireplace and torches on the walls. The mood in here seems to be a lot more upbeat than you guys have seen from the day. So you're in the brothel. There is a bar at the front of the brothel. There's obviously a few different tables around. People are sitting there talking to one another. People enjoying the band, listening to the band play. There's a few people going up and actually tipping gold coins into a hat the band has on stage. There is a barkeep sitting behind the bar, and she is she looks to be a dwarf. So what are you guys doing from this point?
I am going to nudge Lee forward and say, I feel like you'll have the best chance here.
Okay. So Lee, do you want to go forward and talk to the barkeep then?
Sure. Just like give him a look like.
All right, give me 1 second. I gotta throw a text real quick.
I'm gonna pat him on the butt as he goes past, and say, "Go get him."
Please don't touch me like that.
Oh, I will do that to give you an inspiration die.
Okay, so as he slaps you on the butt, oddly, even though you weren't really liking it, there's kind of a little bit of, that wasn't the worst thing ever, and you get a little bit inspired. So little slap on the butt, and you're actually ready to go. So you make your way up, and you go to talk to the barkeep. So
All right.
as you step up to the bar itself seems to be made of what looks to be some kind of cedar or pine, polished to a very fine shine with some kind of resin. There's an elven man sitting at the far end of the bar, seemingly passed out with his head on the bar, and he's gripping the mug in his right hand while he doesn't seem to be any kind of lively whatsoever. Currently, there's a dwarf woman that's heading the bar. She's wiping off some spilled ale as you guys approach. Just, "Hey, what can I get for you?" And as she looks over the group, she actually sees some of you, and she's looking at the party. You all are all pretty well fit and stuff like that. She stops wiping the mess, and she begins to speak to you, Lee, since you were the first one that made contact. And she says, "Well, hello there, Mr. Muscles. Name's Gwyneth, and yours?"
You can call me Lee Jian.
"Well, the pleasure is all mine, Mr. Lee Jean. Let me guess, not from around here. Left home to find some of that Thar'dia treasure, did you?"
No.
That's a
We
little...
are actually currently in search of the child that went missing.
Oh, the missing girl. That's a bad thing. I've heard about that. I don't know what I would do if it was one of my own. What information do you seek here?
We're looking for the mother of a child that previously went missing. I believe her name is Ilana.
Alana, yes. Alana, she works here, and she's currently with a customer at the moment. But I mean, I can try to give you any other information that might help you out. At least until she comes down out of the room.
Session.
If that's what you want there, yes, you definitely can.
How much?
It's 10 gold per session.
What say you to 8 gold?
I say you better be finding 2 more gold. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Ye. Oh, jeez.
And just remember, you were tapping your foot waiting on the others because you're trying to find a little girl, and now you're trying to stop at the brothel. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Go for it. So persuasion check?
It's one of my flaws. That is an 18.
18. She stops for a second. She looks you over and she's like, let's go ahead and make it 8. And so she says she'll go ahead and do 8 if you want to do 8.
All right, cool. Sounds good to me.
So do you give her 8 gold?
Yeah.
All right, so you book the next session with Alana without even seeing her, mind you. Might be a catfish situation. So
Alana's really a dude.
You give her you slide the 8 gold over to Gwyneth, and she grabs it and she pockets it and puts it in her little pouch she has wearing on the front. And she says, "All right, so what information do you need about the case until Alana calms down?"
Do you know where exactly Samuel went missing at?
Alana hasn't talked much about it. She said that she let him go to school and he was walking on the normal routes he normally takes, but then she never saw him again. She closes off when people try to ask her about it more often than not. Maybe you want to ask? Go ahead.
What do you know about the case?
I know that there's 3 children missing right now, and none of them have been found. There's been no signs of them whatsoever for the most part. A few scraps of clothing here or there, but nothing definitive. I also know that there be tales of the witch. They'd be stealing all the little children, but, I don't know. I mean, they've always been tales since we were little kids, but, yeah, maybe. It's a possibility.
Do you know where the swamp is?
The swamp, I believe, is, what would it be? Southeast out of town, maybe 45 minutes to an hour of walk. And then, the woods give away to a dense swamp.
So that would be pretty close to the Morden's house.
It's
pretty close, but the same direction out of town.
Yeah, same direction, probably about another hour past the Morden's house. Deep into the forest. It actually sits on the edge of the mountain range. So the mountain range comes down, and then the swamp butts up to the end of it.
Do you know if there's been any other children of the witches or whatever near the disappearance sites of the other 2 children?
As far as Samuel, I'm not sure because he was walking his normal path, so he wasn't in the woods. The other child, I believe his name was Muzan. He was in the woods, and these woods are littered with these little dolls. The children make them to scare the others for the most part. So I'm sure there has been in other cases, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Do you put any stock into this whole witch theory?
I'm not the best of you asking about the witch. It's a possibility. Us dwarves, we've known worse things. The most people around here, consensus is that it's just fairy tales, but I wouldn't put it past the realm of possibility.
And what is this supposed witch's name again?
Astrid Monroe. Astrid Monroe, for those that can't tell with my horrible dwarf accent. And so as you finish talking about these questions, she also says, that's about all I know about the case so far. You need to talk to Alana if for any other information. And also, I want to let you guys know, you all look like the wrestling bunch. We have an arm wrestling competition here Saturday night. And you guys would know tonight is currently Friday. Who would have guessed? It's Friday, hey.
Hey.
So there is an arm wrestling competition here in the brothel on Saturday nights.
Well, fuck, we're gonna have to hit that up.
I am puny. I have no muscles.
She says,
I can't win.
She says, it's a 25 gold buy-in. It's pretty steep, but if you find yourself coming into some gold and you're looking to win the lot, come on in. And she says, with the arm wrestling competition, it's 25 to enter, but the winner wins all the earnings for the night. So it's a big gamble, but big reward as well.
Go ahead and make up my gold sack.
Sounds good. You bring me 25 gold tomorrow night, I'll put you in there, Mr. What was your name again? Thar'dia. You look like you'd be a good arm wrestler. And so then she starts to talk. She says, you lot are welcome to sit and drink if you wait for Alana. If you need anything, and as she's saying this, she says, just as I was talking about her. And with this, Gwyneth gestures up to the staircase leading down to the group's side. You can now see that there's a human woman coming down the staircase. She's wearing a light blue dress that flows down to her feet, and she's walking arm in arm with a human man. The man is wearing fine clothes and looks to be that of a noble of sorts.
So am I.
There you go. And she said, or you can see that the both are talking, and Alana's trying to keep a smile up to the best of her ability. You can all hear her talking to the man. She says, I had a great time tonight, Ricard. You better come back and see me next time you find yourself down this way. I want to know more about your travels through Valinor. With this being said, both say their goodbyes and part their ways. Gwyneth then calls out to Alana, Alana, you have some people over here asking about you. And then Alana turns towards the group, and you all get a better look at her. She's fairly tall and thin. She has fiery red hair that curls down and rests onto her shoulders. Very attractive and is giving off an aura of friendliness that is not that not many can match. Says, well, what do we have here? A half-orc, a dwarf, a human, and a... You're a human, right, Max?
I am a half-elf.
Half-elf, okay. So, we'll rewind that. She
So
says...
I look humanish.
What do we have here? A half-orc, a half-elf, another half-elf, and a dwarf. I'm pretty sure I've heard this one before. One of those bad jokes. And she says, do I happen to know you? And so, she's talking to you guys.
Well, I'm the one who is your next appointment of the night.
She looks at you with a pretty big smile on her face and says, oh, is that so? Gwen, is she charging the full price? And Gwyneth looks over at her, she's like, not really, but he paid enough. And they both kind of chuckle to themselves. She's like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure we can work something out once we get done talking about this. So,
Sir LR sent us to help us find your missing child.
yes, it's been almost 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, maybe a month, I don't know. Time just seems to be standing still at the moment. I mean, I don't know what more I can tell you that I haven't already told the Watchers. Is there anything specific you need to know about the case?
Did you happen to... Go ahead.
What did you tell the Watcher?
I mean, I told them, the same story that I came home from work. I usually work nights. I came home from work and, or she usually works nights, like coming in early morning. So she says, I came home from work and I went to make breakfast for Samuel as I always do. That was the last time I seen him. I made breakfast for him, I clothed him, and then I sent him off to school on his normal path. He walks every day. Samuel didn't have many friends. Most would tease him for not having a father. It's been very hard for him.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
Yes, I sent him to school. He was wearing a set of overalls and a red wool shirt. Plain clothes. We don't have as much money as many do, so nothing special.
And what route does he take to school?
He walks up the main path, as everyone else does. He usually leaves a little earlier than most when it's still dark outside, just because it's when I get home and I'm able to make breakfast for him. So, I mean, he usually leaves out on the same path, the main path through town, making his way towards the schoolhouse.
So he actually disappeared in town then.
As far as I know, I'm not sure. I don't know if he ventured off or anything else. He walked off. I saw him walk through the window, or as I was looking through the window, I saw him walk down the main path. After that, I don't know what happened to him.
And what have the guards been doing to help find this kid?
I mean, there's been multiple guards that have come and taken a statement from me. They've all asked me what he was wearing. They've all been asking around town if anybody had any information. But I mean, there's so little to go on. I mean, I don't even know what they would go about doing.
But it definitely seems like they're putting up an effort.
I mean, they're putting up enough of an effort, I would say. I mean, we are a small town. They're understaffed and overworked, but they seem to be trying to help as much as I can think they would. Anything else?
I have no
Has-
further questions.
Has
Yeah.
LR taken a special interest
In herself?
in this?
Okay. Oh, in this case.
Yes.
LR is the head of the Watchers, so I mean, he's talked to me as much as he's talked to the other parents. So I mean, he seems to be doing what he can to help find the children. As I said, I fear that they don't have enough information to ever determine what's happening to our kids.
Mm.
So, any other questions before we wrap it up there?
Nope.
Nothing.
Okay, so she then leans into all of you. She gets a little bit more serious. The smile drops a little bit. Says, I wish I had more information to help all of you. As I've told you, I've already told this to the Watchers, and they have yet to find anything. They don't even really have a lead to follow, so they keep telling us they're doing the best they can, but we still know nothing. Samuel was the only good thing in my life. Without him, I am lost. I do not dare to think what might have happened to my baby boy. How are you supposed to go on living a life knowing that you might never see your son again? I should have stayed in Roresh. I was sure the men were pricks, but at least the guard could protect you. Look, I still had to put food on the table, and even if it's only for one now. I thank you all for trying to help, but you know, with our gentlemen here, I already have other guests waiting. So, if you find anything else, please let me know. I do not think the guards will find much. And
Now, am I doing a performance check?
yeah, sure. Hold on. So, with this, Orlana leaves the conversation. Max, she grabs your hand, starts leading you up the staircase. She starts to brush her hair back and starts stroking the back of your hair as well. She walks up to walks up the stairs with you, hand in hand, and she leads you back up the same staircases that you all saw her come down, disappearing from sight. So yeah, Max, we're gonna say, are you guys waiting around, listening to the band, having some drinks?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm waiting around.
Anybody want to buy a drink? Hey.
He's gonna hang around outside if he can.
Okay, so yeah, that's fun. You just walk outside, and it has like a little railing and stuff, so you can go out there and just kind of lean on the rail and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just waiting outside. Thar'dia, what you doing?
I'm going to go buy a drink.
Okay, so you go up and you talk to Gwyneth. I knew you'd be back here. What can I get for you, Biggie?
Give me a cup of your best ale.
Okay, so she says, coming right up, and she disappears behind the bar a little bit. She starts digging through some stuff down here, and she's like, I'll give you the special stash. And then she grabs a big old taggart out, she starts pouring it into a mug, and she slides it across. She says, that'll be 2 gold for you. And she leans in. She leans in real quick. She's like, "That's 2 gold for you. It's 5 gold for most." And she comes back out, and so she grabs it and she kind of gives you a wink, and then she throws the money into her pouch, goes back to washing out some glasses and other stuff. All right. So anything else? Go ahead.
What part of Thar'dia are you from?
Shit.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite questions, right?
Where's the
as a
map?
DM and as a player. It's like somebody asks you a question like, fuck.
I forgot the fucking name. Hold on.
Umessa?
Umessa,
Right?
Thank you. It's like,
You already knew the.
I'd be from, well, he knows the answer because he used to play a dwarf. It's like, I'd be from Umessa like most of the dwarfs around here. Yourself?
I am actually from Swindler's Cove.
Swindler's Cove. All right, real quick, Max, go ahead and roll me a performance check.
All right.
See if it comes out during this
19.
conversation.
19? All right, so as you and Gwyneth are talking, you start hearing very loud, very reverberating moans and screams coming from the top. So, just to give you a little bit of information.
Can Lee hear it from outside?
Lee, roll a perception check.
I ain't focusing too much on it.
With disadvantage because you're outside and there is a band playing.
Yeah, I got 6.
6? Yeah, band drowns it out. Lee doesn't know anything that's
Yeah.
happening. You talking to Gwyneth anymore? No? Okay. So you guys make some small chit chatter going back and forth. She's very flirtatious with pretty much any person that walks up. It's just a part of her personality everyone seems to like. So we'll say maybe one more performance check, Max.
All right. Oh, jeez.
First, we do how well he's doing it, and then how long he's doing
Exactly.
That one was a 7.
7. So while Thar'dia and JD, while you guys are downstairs, you definitely hear a lot of commotion coming up. But then maybe only a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, you start seeing Max coming down. And Alana's walking him down as well, but it seems to be a lot less time than you guys would normally think it should be. And Max is walking down, and you all hear, or both of you hear Alana lean down, and she says, "It was good for me too." And then Max kind of begrudgingly puts his head down and walks over to you guys.
I have no shame.
So he walks over, proud as can be. Just he's almost glowing, hands on his waist. He's getting in there. Any questioning to that?
As
No.
I walk up to everyone, I say, "All right, let's go find some lost children."
That is the creepiest fucking thing you could have said at that point. I would not have mixed those two circumstances together. But okay, yeah, we'll go with it. So okay, all of you guys make your way outside of the brothel.
When they come out and like
Mhm.
grab me, I'm just like, I look at Max and I'm just like, I appreciate you not taking too long.
Nice.
I'm gonna say, "No problem, buddy," and like put my hand on his shoulder.
Do you like the hand on the shoulder? You feeling that?
Do not touch me.
He's kind of one of those. It's like you kind of like pull your hand back a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So, sorry. Amber alert going off. And give me 1 second.
Please hold professionalism.
Ever learned some important shit?
Word.
No, my sister's texting me, and she's like
Oh.
blowing up my fucking phone. Hello, hello, hello. Okay.
Oh.
So you guys find yourself outside of the brothel. So that means you've talked to the Morden household. You've talked to the Destar household. The last up would have been Muzan Jastal's house. Would be the last missing child. So, what are you guys doing?
I want to talk to Muzan.
Anybody have any objections?
I kind of want to check out the path to school.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Mostly, I want to look for witches' children.
Oh, okay. Wow, it's a nice thing. I haven't thought about that. So go ahead and roll, and we'll see what you find. Investigation check. So as you guys are walking towards the Gestal house, you obviously want to keep a keen eye out for any witches' children.
I'm looking at 10.
10.
Yep.
You look around. You don't see anything that would resemble any of the dolls you saw out in the forest.
Unless
Okay.
you want some inspiration to see them.
Oh yeah, you
I
do
guess I
have.
do
you
have that
have that
inspiration.
You can
die.
roll it.
We'll do that. It's a D6, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're looking at 12 now.
12. Still don't see anything. By
Okay.
inspiration. Inspiration, I think, only lasts 10 minutes
That
anyway, so it would have been
software.
gone for a while.
It still works though. He only took 2.5.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
you guys are making your way up to the Justal house. All right, so as you make your way to the tavern, there was, when LR told you about it, he said that they were across from the tavern. Was where the tavern and the brothel are two separate places. The brothel is they have a bar as well, but I mean, obviously some people don't want to go into a brothel. They would rather just go to the tavern. So there are two distinctions between the two. So as you guys are making your way to the tavern, there's a group of kids that runs by all four of you. One almost collides with you, JD. And as he dodges out of the way of the last second, he keeps on running. Seems they're playing a game of chase or something. One of the kids calls out, "You can't catch me!" Another one yells, "You're as slow as a giant sloth, Asher!" And the yells give away to laughter as the kids continue running down the path. Even with the grief that has taken the city in the past month, the kids still seem to be finding a way to work up a smile. So rounding the corner, you see a wooden sign of the tavern, and it reads, "The Crossroads Pub." There's a drunk beggar sitting outside on the edge of the building looking towards the group. As you all get closer, he calls out, "Spare a coin for an old drunk." Anybody
I
giving
will
him some
give
money?
him 1 gold piece.
So as you reach out, you give him the gold piece. He grabs it from your hand. He clasps your hand. He says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. This will really help." Anybody else, or no one else giving this guy money?
I'm not giving the
Nope.
guy money.
He looks
I'm
so.
all
Yeah,
about
he,
neutral, maybe.
he said he's an old drunk. Like,
Oh yeah, he's not lying about it, man. He's telling you
No.
what he wants.
At least
so he
he's
looks-
honest.
He looks towards the you other three, and he's like, "What? None of you are gonna give me any coins? Y'all too greedy?"
cure your vice and then we'll talk.
What'd you say?
Cure your vice and then we'll
Oh.
talk.
Anybody else got a comment for him?
Can you tell me anything about the missing children?
I can tell you about the missing children if you give me 3 gold.
How about you tell me
child.
about the missing children, and I'll decide how much gold you get.
He starts. "Let's get 1 gold down first, and then we'll speak."
Sure.
So you flip him a gold. He catches it. He kind of fumbles and catches it real quick before it hits the ground. He says, "The children are missing. Thank you."
I took one for the team, guys.
And make sure you mark off a gold because you do have gold in here. And make sure you marked off 8, Max, and then Thaldak, you marked off 2.
Where's that?
It'll be on your first page under all of your weapons. It says 5 GP over there in the little box next to the equipment page.
Now,
Right.
how is that tea from earlier affecting me?
The tea is fine. It was just normal tea. Both you and JD feel fine. It was silk poppy tea. It's a very common drink around here. It's just an herb. It's just like any other tea you would think you would drink. Green tea, black tea, something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Did you find it yet, Hoff?
No.
First page, under where it says 20 crossbow bolts, there's another big block. And then on the left side of that block, it says 5 GP. There's a little 5, and there's none of the other ones have a 5 in them.
That's under shield for mine.
No, it's under the equipment. If you look down at the bottom of that square, it says equipment.
Yes.
And then to the left, it says 5, and then if you look to the left of the 5, it says GP, gold pieces.
Oh, it doesn't say GP in mine.
Oh, okay. Well, it should
So
be
I
on the
thought that
left
was
of the
saying
5.
I had 5 shields or
No.
something.
No, you have 1 shield. All right, so just mark off 1, so now you have 4 GP.
Okay.
All right, so as you guys, you gave the old Becker some money. That's fine. So go ahead and all of you roll me an investigation check to see if you can find the Gestal house that was across from the tavern.
Yeah.
7.
I really need a
Not
larger
very good
rolling
at
space.
investigating right
Hey,
now.
I also got a 7.
Hey, nice.
Holy shit, me too.
I'm lost in
Oh, yeah.
reminiscence
What'd you get, Huff?
of my
16.
8 coins spent.
16. Okay, so Thaldak, you're sitting there looking at your beard, or just kind of feeling your beard. You're just like, yeah, looks pretty good. You're just really focused on that beard. Lee, you're really intent on whatever Lee things are. You're an enigma to most people. There's just something going on in your head. You're lost in thought. And Max, you're definitely thinking back to Alana, and you're like, yeah, she liked that. She liked that a lot. You're just lost in your own thoughts, bud. So, but luckily, we have one group member that is very focused on the task at hand, JD. Without a doubt, all of you are kind of wandering in opposite directions. Like, hey, it's right over there, guys. So he points it out to all of you. And you all make your way up towards the house. Once again, another wooden house, just like most here. Very weathered, and as most are around these parts. It does have the iron Valenwood crest hanging on the front, as Sir LR said it would. And you can all see some smoke coming out of the chimney. You can see faint candlelight creeping through the window, and looking in, you can actually see an elven man sitting in the chair, currently with his head buried in his hands. He brings his hands over his head and strokes them to the back of his hair. His face is dripping with sorrow as he sits back into the chair. You would all assume this to be Fenric Gestal, which I'm going to say you guys asked the name of. That is the father, Fenric Gestal. You would all assume this to be Fenric Gestal. So, what are you doing?
Again, just like look at Max expectantly.
Max, you're kind of like the knocker. You're like the knocker of the group, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and knock.
Okay, so you go up, you give a couple
I am
knocks.
the one who knocks.
Doof, doof, doof. Knock on the
It is
door.
prophesized.
With that knock, you can hear the elven man run very quickly to the door, and it swings open frantically. It says, "Are you here about Muzan? Did you find him? Please tell me you found my boy."
We have not found him, but we are looking for him. We came here to get some more information.
Okay, so I mean, as you say this, Fenric obviously he's a distraught parent. Doesn't seem pleased with the news. He doesn't really say anything to any of you. He just kind of turns around and walks backward into his house, leaving the door open, seemingly for all of you to enter. So,
I will
Enter.
enter.
Lee, you been?
Feature is
I was going to say,
house.
you're gonna just kind of
Yeah.
stand at the door. All right, everybody else
Yeah.
entering in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So a few moments pass, and Fenric begins to speak up. He's, you all are kind of sitting there in silence for the moment. He says, "His mother blames me, Can't say that I blame her. But you know how hard it is how hard it is having the woman that you love resent you? Have her not even able to look you in the eye when you're talking. Feels like I'm in an endless nightmare that I cannot wake from. What hell am I stuck in? With this, he buries his hands into his face once more, just as you saw previously through the window.
So you were both present then?
No, I was the only present. She was out working as a I think she's a leather worker. I don't know. I forgot. She's a leather worker. Either way, she was out working, and I'm a hunter of the town. I'm with a group of hunters, and I was out showing my boy Muzan how to hunt and how to read signs in the woods. So he was out with me when when he disappeared, and his mother blames me for it.
Could you point us in the general direction that you were in?
I mean, yes, I can definitely tell you where I was. It was over probably. I know I've heard of the little girl Nettie that went missing this morning. It was probably 15 minutes away from her house, closer to town, a little bit further back into the woods. We were out there hunting. It was early morning, just before sunrise. I heard some movement that was not too far away from me and Muzan. I told Muzan to stay put, and I would go around and try to flank whatever was on the other side. Day broke, and I could see what seemed to be a nice-sized deer just feeding on some of the shrubs. I began to push it towards Muzan. I was wanting Muzan to get his first kill, so I started to inch closer to it and just have it scurry away a little bit, not trying to startle it too much. I kept pushing and got back to the spots where I know I left Muzan, but he was nowhere in sight. Honestly, I thought he got scared. He was scared of the dark. I tried to tell him there was nothing to be afraid of, so I thought he might have just ran back to the house or something after I left him. I came back to the house very angry with Muzan. However, I did not find him here. I made my way back to the woods frantically looking for him, but he was not there either. I looked for a long time, and I found Muzan's tracks leading into a spot in the forest where they just stopped. Where the track stopped, I did find one of the witch's children up in the tree.
All right. Well, we would like to go check out that area, see what we can find out there.
Okay.
You said you're a hunter, right?
Yes, I'm a hunter of the town.
Would you happen to have a short bow and some arrows you would be willing to part with in case there is some kind of dangerous thing that we need to take down from afar to save him?
Yeah, and so as you say this, he currently starts looking around. He says, yes, one moment, and he starts scurrying through some stuff, and he grabs what looks to be an older bow. I mean, it's not in the best condition, but it seems to suffice for what you would want. He grabs 6 arrows with the bow as well, and he comes and he hands them to you, and he says, if this will help you in trying to find my son, by all means, it's yours. It's an old bow anyway. I don't use it anymore, so feel free to keep it. Use it if you must.
Okay. So is that just like a short bow?
Yeah, if you just look in the handbook, it would just be a short bow with 6 arrows.
All right. Noted.
Cool. So you got that in your inventory now. Any other questions before you guys are done with this?
Did Muzan have any trinkets or anything that he carried around with him?
Muzan didn't have much that he carried around. We're a simple family. I mean, he just had the clothes on his back. He was wearing a dark brown wool shirt and brown pants when I first left him.
What time of day is it right now?
Right now, it was early morning when you guys initially were at the town hall. So right now, it's probably pushing maybe 10:30 in the morning. So it's still pretty early morning. Still a cold chill in the air.
Okay. I think we should go check out the woods and then continue on towards the swamp.
Okay.
I believe we do not need to investigate the incident area.
So
I think
just go
marching
straight
on to
to
the swamp is the best choice. I believe the witch will have answers for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
that
guys
sounds
think
fine
we
to
should?
me.
Do you guys think we should try to find out more information about this Astrid Monroe?
Well, as you guys are talking amongst yourselves about what to do next, he says, as far as that's all I know about my boy. His mother had told me time and time again that Muzan was too young to learn to hunt. I would tell her that my father taught me at an even younger age, and that he would be fine. I told her that I would keep him safe. We hunters know these woods better than the Watchers, and what they think are just tales we know to be true. I'm telling you that there's something sinister going on around here. The Watchers won't listen, so I'm asking you. Seek out whatever evil this is. It's the only lead we have. You might try heading to the local library and seeing if there's anything you can find on this witch. I would go do so myself, but as a mere hunter, I cannot read. Unless it, he says, as a hunter, there's no use for reading unless it's broken twigs and tracks. Please find my boy.
And where is this library?
The library is on the far side of town next to Keeper Erden's personal house. It's very easy to see the library is one of the biggest buildings over there in the higher end section of the house, and or in the housing districts, and you'd be able to see it easily. So he gave you guys, and once again, and this is up to you guys. You don't have to go to the library to get more information. You can go to the library and try to read up on the witch and see if there's any credence to the stories of it. Or, as you guys said, you can go, you know where the swamp is now, you can start going straight out to the swamp. So you guys would just talk amongst yourselves and see what you want to do.
Do either of you, or do any of you three know how to read?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not gained that knowledge.
So hold on, real quick. You're telling me
All right.
Max and
You're
Lee don't
muted.
know how to read? Oh, I am.
Jason.
So real quick, you're
There you
telling me Max and Lee don't know how to read?
No, I know how to read.
Oh, well, you were asking
Lee
like you
doesn't
didn't know how to read. Oh, so just Lee. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah,
real
just
focused on your studies of training and martial arts, so I'll let it pass. All right, that's fine. Continue. I just found it interesting.
Should
I
we
wasn't
check
so big
out
on
the
the scripture.
library, see if we can find anything out, or should we just get going to see if we can get there as fast as possible?
I say we go to the library.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's check.
So
out
do we
the
want to do that
library.
before we head out to the woods to look at the investigation site?
Yes.
Skip the investigation site. We should just go straight for the swamp.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what
Once
Lee
we
was
are
wanting to
done
do.
with the library.
You're still muted, bud.
Yeah, I know. I see it. That's what I was gonna say. That's what Lee wanted to do. He said he wanted to skip the site, so I was just letting you guys know that. You would all obviously have been talking and know that.
Yep.
So you guys want to go to the library first and then head out to the swamp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will say we only have about 30 minutes left, and one of us at least has to work tomorrow, so we will be ending pretty close to 11. We'll try to find a natural stopping point.
All right.
And by one of us, I mean Thodak, so you can blame the half orc.
That's fine. I would
Yeah.
normally be working tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
I gotta pick up my daughter in the morning, so it's cool.
So, hold on, I've scrolled up. Let me get back to where I was. Okay, so as you guys make your way down the main street, and it's a very small town. I mean, it's probably not but 5 to 10 minutes to get all the way across town. So you're walking about 5 minutes, and you make your way up, and you can see that there is one big house standing up by itself. You would assume that to be Keeper Erden's house. It's a lot more well made than most other houses here, and it does have two big bear statues standing outside of it, just like in front of the town hall. So looking across from that, you easily see what seems to be the library. Notably, it's bigger than all the other places. It doesn't look like a house, and it doesn't have any sign on it to indicate that it would be some other sort of business. So you all just ascertain that it would be the library.
Mm-hmm.
So as you make your way up, you start walking up a path, and you can see what seems to be a medium-sized brick building. So it's it's not wood like all the rest. It has two big double doors on the front. Then there's two pillars that are holding up an overhang that sits above them. On either side of the doors, you can see the Valenwood crest that are adorning the building, and the doors are currently open, and you can see a few residents making their way to and from this building. So I'm assuming you guys are just gonna walk up and walk right in.
Yes.
So
I will knock.
you go up. There's no door, and you're looking a little weird. You just kind of got in the action, the motion of it. You're not really thinking. You just knock. There's no, and then you kind of stop yourself. It's cool.
Knock on the open door. Just
Yeah.
go over
Yep.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
So as you all make your way up, you get inside the building itself. Looking inside, it seems a little bit bigger than what you would expect looking from the outside. It seems like it just looks a little bit bigger on the inside than you expected. The building has tall windows on both sides that are letting in a lot of the natural light of the land. And actually, hold on. I'm gonna switch music here because I'm bad. Just go back to
This
fantasy.
isn't a lively library.
Yeah, no, no. There's nothing popping off in the library. Everyone's real quiet. So a lot of natural light's being let in. You can see many different bookshelves, all filled with hundreds of books each. Currently, there's a few residents that are sitting at various tables, reading quietly to themselves. What are you guys doing? There is a librarian sitting at a desk in front of you as well.
I'm going to ask her if there's any census records or anything on Astrid Monroe.
All right, so as you all make your way up to the librarian's desk, you can see it's an elven woman sitting at the front of the desk. She is older than anyone you've actually seen in the town so far. Her hair is very frizzled and gray, pulled back into a ponytail. She has glasses that are sitting on just the tip of her nose. And as you all walk forward, she looks up and pushes their glasses up to a more designated height. And she says, "What are we looking for today?"
I'm looking for some kind of records or something that talk about Astrid Monroe, who lives in the swamp outside of town or lived in the swamp.
Not many look for that kind of information. Follow me, let's see what we have. So she then gets up from the desk and begins to lead you all back, assuming that you're all going to follow. Most of the shelves that you're passing by, there's books. The books in this part of the library are all caked in dust. A lot of these books don't look like they've been read for a long time, or they seem to be long forgotten. She searches for a few minutes and then pulls a book from the back shelf and she says, "Here we are. This might be the information you seek." As she says this, she extends the book out. Anybody grabbing it?
I will reach for the book if no one else is.
Okay. So, Max, you go ahead and put out your hand and reach for the book. As she gives it to you, she says, "If you need any more help, you know where to find me." And then she currently makes her way out and heads back to her desk.
As she walks away, I'm going to say, "I love your glasses, by the way."
She turns around and she gives a really hearty smile and she says, "Thank you. Not too many compliment anymore." And she continues to walk off. So, you go ahead and sit down and start reading the book.
Yeah.
So it's a town census book. Obviously, it's from a few decades past. You're looking for any information on a witch named Astrid Monroe. So flipping through the book, you can see that there was indeed a woman that lived in Valenwood named Astrid Monroe. Her and her husband lived in a swamp south of Valenwood, and they lived here almost 130 years ago. Her husband was accused of murdering their own child and sentenced to death. It was later found out that it was actually not her husband through a further investigation, but it was actually just some passer-through that has never been identified. Astrid, at that point, never remarried or bared any other children, and she died almost 80 years ago.
That definitely sounds like some fishy stuff. Dead child, now children are disappearing. I know how to connect some dots.
My man. Luckily for you, because Lee can't read. He just looks at the scribbles on the page. He's just a little frustrated.
Yeah. He's not even looking at the book. He is just
Okay.
looking at Max.
Okay. All right, so
Waiting for Max to say something.
do you give any of this information to your party?
I do.
So what do you let them know?
So it sounds like she was alive a long time ago, and her child was killed by a passerby, and her husband was put to death for it. And then she kind of just died from old age.
She kind of just died.
So, if she didn't die and she's still alive, she's probably a witch. If she
Does
did die, she could have come back as some
Does-
sort of vengeful spirit.
Does it say what race she was, or is it
Oh yeah,
some
what race is she?
name?
She was human.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
alright.
of it. She was human. That's good.
Yeah, I was thinking like if it was 130 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
not-
it would
not
still
many people-
apply
yeah.
to a lot of races.
Yeah, no, she was a human.
Okay.
She died 80 years ago.
And it said that she had no more children, correct? Besides the one that died?
Yeah, so you relayed
Yeah.
all the information to him. So yeah, she lived in Valenwood. Her and her husband lived in the swamp southeast of Valenwood 130 years ago. Husband was accused of murdering their own child and put to death. Later, it was found out that it wasn't the husband. She never remarried. She never bared any more children, and she died 80 years ago.
All right.
Does it say what she died of?
It just says she died of natural causes.
Okay, it wasn't like any sacrifice
No,
on an
I mean,
altar of any sort.
No, you do notice in this book that for a lot of the other people, there's a lot more description for their lives and who they were and all that stuff. For the Monroes, there's not too much about them. They seem to live in seclusion out in the swamp by themselves, and they didn't really deal too much with Roresh, or excuse me, Valenwood. But I mean, they were still part of the city, and so they still were noted in here. There's just not nearly as much information about them.
Okay.
So you all have the information. You start heading back out, passing the front desk once again. The librarian looks up to you and she asks, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
Mostly yes. Thank you.
Okay, and she says, "Well, I'm glad we could be somewhat of an assistance to you. Feel free to come back again for all your information needs." So
All right.
you all go head out of the library. So you got all the information now. You've talked to all the families. Anything else you're wanting to do before you head out to the swamp?
I want to head out to the swamp.
Anybody else? Stop, shop, potions, crossbow bolts. I know you already got 20 off. More arrows. You only got 6. Anything?
Nope.
Everybody good?
I
Yep.
think
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
fine
fine.
with just 6 arrows. That's 6 people I can kill.
Okay.
If you're fucking good.
All right, and when I did give you the time of day, I'm gonna say it got skewed a little bit, and whatever. So we're kind of dusky going now because why not? We just skipped ahead
Spent a
little
long
bit.
time reading that book.
Yeah, I mean it took her
Yeah,
quite
none
a
of
while.
us have read in a long time.
It took her 6 hours to find that book. Now it's dusky. So, you all make your way to the southern gate of Valenwood, all heading out towards the swamp. You can see the sun beginning to set over the horizon, and the color of the sky is beginning to shift from a clear blue to pinks, oranges with a dark purple hue. Dusk is setting in, and the air begins to get chilly once more. You all continue down the path leading past the Morton house for the second time today. Low light escaping the window's boundary as you can see shadows of 2 individuals within the house. The night is growing ever more dark as you continue down the path, and it seems to blend into the surroundings. Shadows begin to creep upon the group until you're all encased in darkness. So, right now, obviously there's no lights lighting this path. It's complete darkness. It is nighttime. Who all has dark vision?
I do.
I do as
I think
well.
we all have dark vision.
Does everyone have dark? Yeah, no, Huff does.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure half-orcs have dark vision.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like everyone but humans has dark vision.
Okay, so,
I
Is
also
that better?
have 10 torches too. So
are you not on a camel anymore, Torn?
What was that?
You said music.
No, I was figuring you wanted to change it.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to remind you. I know you have
Well,
a lot going on.
Yeah, no, there was Arabian fantasy music playing, so you guys were apparently on a camel for a while. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. So, all of you have dark vision, so you can see pretty clearly, even though the path is not well lit. As all you begin to make your way into the swamp, you can see the moon's light starting to shine through the moss-riddled trees. All of you press through the pools of water that... excuse me. All of you press on through the mud and pools of water for what must have been at least an hour heading deeper into the swamp. Each step a little harder than the last. You know, the mud's kind of sticking to the feet. The mud seems to find a way to contort to your feet, almost tripping you at times. The trek is a hard one, and you all stop at what seems to be an 8-foot deep chasm. It's about 15 foot wide, and it goes in either direction as far as the eye can see. At the bottom of the chasm, there's a pool of water. Possibly at one point it was a stream or a river of some sort, but it does seem to be very, very or a lot lower. Like you have about an 8-foot drop total, but the water comes up maybe 3.5 foot of that, so they're probably losing about 4.5 foot of water there. So it seems to be a part of whatever this drought is amongst the area. There's a few fallen trees that are laying over the fissure in the ground, and all seemingly or in the ground, seemingly the only way to walk across. So as you step up to this, it's a river channel of some sort, and as far as you can see left and right, it's just that channel all the way down. So you have a few fallen trees that are over this that you could try to make your way across, or you could go down in the chasm or chasm and try to crawl back up. I know you all have some rope as well. So
We have at least 40 feet of rope.
Have I seen any of the children of the witches?
Just walking through, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Or have you been
Yeah, I'd
looking
also
for
be
them?
keeping my eyes out for that.
Okay, well, if you're looking directly for them, make an investigation then.
Okay.
Okay, so 16.
Hoff, you know your
7.
cam's off, right?
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, that's fine. I was just making sure.
Alarm was going off. It was freaking me out.
All right.
Yeah.
So 16 and 7. Lizen, you don't really see any of the children. Even though you have dark vision, there still seems to be it's just a little bit too thick for you to see through. Max, how you have a little bit of a keener eye for this stuff, and you do see as you guys are walking. I mean, it's not nearly as many as closer to the town. Closer to the town, there's a lot of them up in the trees. However, every now and then you will see one of the witch's children spotted up in a tree somewhere.
This doesn't seem like a place where children would venture very often, so I feel like these witches' children are definitely some bad news.
Yeah, I would agree.
Agreed.
All right, so you are faced with this big 15-foot wide chasm with an 8-foot drop, and I say 8 foot. It's probably about 3.5, 4-foot drop down to the water. What are you guys doing? How are you getting across?
I'm going to attempt to cross using one of the fallen trees, but I'd like to test it first.
All right, just a
By
little foot on
hitting
it.
it with my
Oh, okay.
yeah, like hit it with the stick a little bit, hitting it
Okay,
with my staff a little bit.
Go ahead and make an
before I-
attack roll on it.
Okay. We're looking at 9 total.
9. All right,
Yeah.
you whip out the staff and really quickly, lightning fast, you sling it down and boop, boop, boop. Seems sturdy.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try and cross then using
Okay.
that.
So go ahead and make me a athletics check.
All right. We are looking at 17, 19?
19?
19 total.
Okay, you just like monk run across it, silent as the night, and you just land on the other side. Perfectly fine, you're across it.
I'm going to follow his example.
Okay. So go ahead and make me a athletics check.
All right.
With you, we're gonna go disadvantage. Because you're huge, you weigh a lot, and your boots are muddy.
You're a big guy.
Yeah.
That is a 14.
14. As you make your way across, you get about halfway across, and your foot slips out from under you. You catch yourself. You almost fell off, but you catch yourself. You continue to start walking across the log, and as you do, you slip a second time and fall down into the pit.
Damn it!
Like, I'm standing on the other side of the bridge, and like as he's falling, there's no surprise or anything. I just like watch him.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are now in this pit, and yeah, you're in a pit. Other two guys are up top, and Lee is already on the other side.
I'm going to try to cross as well and tell him that we'll feed a rope down to pull him out once I'm across.
Okay. So go ahead and make your athletics check across.
Yeah, while he's doing this, like Lee is already looking for a tree that's close enough to like root the rope to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of trees right around there on the bank, so you could definitely do that.
I got an unnatural 1.
Ooh. Okay. Critical. It's not a critical fail, but even still, as you're making your way across, you get about 2 steps, and then your feet shoot from out under you with the mud as well. You plummet directly down into the water alongside Thar'dia.
We're beaten by the log boss boys.
As
So-
Lee is like tying the rope, he just calls behind him. Durrell, perhaps you should skip the log and jump in after them.
So what are you doing, JD?
Alright, so here's what I'm doing. I'm jumping down with you guys. I'm not doing that log crap.
Okay.
We're going deep.
And how deep is it? How deep is it?
The
Like,
water
you know what I
itself
mean?
is about 3.5 foot, 3.5 to 4 foot up. So I mean, it's pretty high water. I mean, depending on how tall you are, I don't know. It would probably say on your character sheet, but it's probably
Yeah,
going to come to
5
at least stomach or chest or something like that. So it's pretty deep water.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump down in.
Okay. So you jump on in, make a big old splash coming in. Whoosh, 3 of you
Maybe
in the
cannonball.
water.
Cannonball.
Yeah. Go ahead, cannonball. Throw some
Cannonball
flair
for
on.
the
Give me
win.
a performance check, JD.
Oh,
See
you
how
know it.
impressive the splash
I want to
is.
see. Yeah, I want to see how awesome this cannonball is.
Oh, yuck. Wait, I gotta look at what that is.
Yep.
Oh, it's +0. 3.
3? Okay, so as you go, you run, you're about to go up and jump into a cannonball to go down in, and your foot slips out from under you, and you land straight on your back right on the water.
Mm.
Not graceful in the least.
Mm.
All right, so we got 3 of you in the water now, and Lizanne, you're the
And a
only
rope
one that made
coming
it
down.
across. All right, so Lizanne throws the rope over. Who's going to try to get up first?
I think I should go up first because I'm the lightest.
It's probably a good plan.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rope is tied to a tree, and Lijian is also standing on it.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, it's a very sturdy tree. It's a green tree, so it's not dead or anything like that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this rope is secure across that.
Yeah. Just like added oomph to it.
Yep. So go ahead and make a athletics check to go ahead and climb up this rope.
14. 13
14,
after
13?
modify.
Okay. Yeah, so you start coming up this rope. Your feet are having trouble finding grip with the muddy ground. But I mean, you slog your way up and you eventually make it up to the top. So who's going next?
Me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an athletics check, JD.
17.
17, man, you just grip and rip. You just grab this rope and just straight up.
You
Feet
know
don't
it.
slip whatsoever. You're 100% out. So we have 3 of you out now. So Thar'dia, go ahead and roll me a athletics check to get up the rope.
Is he minus? Disadvantage?
No, he's athletic. You are very heavy.
But
Can
granted,
we
there are 3 of
offset
them up at the
that
top.
by
Yeah, but I
all
mean,
3
you
of
guys
us
could.
grabbing onto
Yeah, you
the
could
rope?
reach down.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
true
go ahead and
story.
just roll normal. You're good. Roll normal.
That is a 15.
15. Okay, so you start. Actually, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That is a 15 as well.
15 as well. Okay, so as you are starting to get 1 foot out of the muck, you start seeing. Let me see. You start seeing what seems to be a log that's coming towards you. It keeps coming a little bit faster, and then as it gets closer, you can tell this isn't a log. This is a very toothy mauled crocodile coming right at your leg. And this, my friends, is where we would go into battle. So as the croc comes up to you, it's going to make an attack against you. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
It's
Hits. Okay, you are going to take. Where is it? Ooh. Oh, baby. I like that. I like that a lot. You're going to take. Ooh, 12 piercing damage.
holy shit.
Snap.
Are you still up?
Yeah. Barely.
The crocodile slams
Okay.
down onto your leg, and you are now considered, or excuse me, now you need to make a
It's either a
strength-
strength saving
yeah,
throw
it's gonna be
or
strength saving.
athletics.
go ahead and make me a strength saving throw.
That will be a non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. As it clamps down on your leg, it tries to hold on, and you rip your leg up just instinctively. It rips out of the crocodile's mouth, and you have big gaping tooth wounds across your flesh. But it is 10:57, and that is where we are going to leave the adventure, people.
Oof.
So we are all three of you are up on top. We got Max, JD, and Lee Zen up top, and we have Thar'dia climbing out with a big nasty wound from a crocodile on his leg. You guys are heading your way towards the witch's house to try to find some answers and find this missing girl, and we will pick up here next week.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So I know there's nobody watching, but I'm gonna say thanks for watching anyway. Hopefully you enjoyed it, because I'm pretty sure we all did. I'm pretty sure everyone had a good time. It seemed like we did. So
Yeah.
we will be on
Yeah,
Fridays.
I enjoyed being one of the 2 viewers.
Exactly. We'll be on Fridays, and Fridays 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time, and we will see you guys in. So take it easy.
So
Say
wait,
bye,
I have
everybody.
a question.
Say
Oh,
bye
that's
first.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Torn.
Fuck you.
There you go. Bye.